On the airwaves, coming at you live from the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios. John Reed, Cody McClure, Bubba, Bad News Bubba. No Sam this week as he is going to get his brother married out of town, doing brother duties. But the three of us got you covered. Happy Monday morning to you. Cuarto de Mayo. That means May 4th. Cody, what's up, dog?
I'm doing all right. It's good to be here. Good to be anywhere. I'm progressing in my new television program I'm watching. Hell on Wheels. Did you ever watch it?
No, I've told you that already multiple times that I've never watched it.
Oh, well, I thought maybe you'd watched it since.
No.
Never know.
Mm-mm.
Worth checking in. It's a good show. It's fine. I'm about 2 seasons in now. And so I've been doing that. And then I just been, driving around the city, driving my car around town.
Did you get out on Saturday for the Luke Combs concert?
Yes, of course.
How was that?
I mean, it was good before the show. Good. I mean, overall good, great money weekend and everything with doing that. I mean, it's worth doing, but it was pure hell getting out of there, as I'm sure many others could attest.
How many rides did you give after the concert?
Well, for about 2 hours, one.
Yeah.
But then it thinned out to the point where I knew where I could skirt around it. So I did another 10 after that probably, but
just on the outskirts.
Yeah, just in the fort and Old City or whatever. But yeah, getting out of there, which I'm sure it was worse for other people than it was me because I willingly put myself in that traffic.
Sure,
but if you were just half drunk and miserable and trying to get home to Morristown or wherever, I imagine. It was rough for a lot of people because it. I don't know what it is about these concerts. It's almost, it seems they've been worse than game days in some ways. I can remember seeing people sitting on the curb at those Morgan Wallen shows at 2:30 in the morning, and this happened again this time because I was getting requests for people to go to like Lenore City. Or people, trying to get an Uber to, further out of town, or way out west, Farragut and stuff like that at 2 in the morning. So,
were you declining those?
Yeah. No, I wasn't about to go all the way out there, but hopefully somebody did. Hopefully somebody they got a ride eventually. But
I will say it seemed as if all the freaking out about the ticket sales. Maybe a little unfounded or I have a different theory that like the stadium seating probably did have a couple of empty seats, but like maybe people were able to spread out a little bit more and enjoy more room than they do during football games.
Well, that's a good thing.
Because there were plenty of tickets still available the day of because I checked because I wanted to see if they had progressed. But the pictures and the firsthand eyewitness accounts there said it was packed to the gills.
Based on my level of busyness and all that, which is usually a pretty good indicator, it was just as big as the other ones.
Yeah.
I mean, it seemed to be. Seemed like everybody was there,
Bubba, did you have something to say? You looked like you had.
Oh, it's just as boots on the ground.
Oh, you were there? You went?
Yeah.
How was it?
Concert was fun. Not a fan of one of the guys. Ty Myers,
sure,
18-year-old, says he dropped out, but he's from Austin, so it's not too much of a sob story in my opinion. I also don't know anything about the guy. Overall, though, yeah, it was pretty good. The wine and cheese seats still were pretty empty up until Luke Combs had like 2 songs done.
Wait, there's wine and cheese seats for concerts?
Where the season ticket holders would sit, in those specialty seats on, the sidelines right there at the 50.
I don't think they roped those off, though, for a concert.
No. Like, you could sit there, but, like, those were, like, the empty seats up until, like, that time. Because in my section, it was in J. It was just shoulder to shoulder, people sitting all over each other. It was packed there.
All right.
But for Cody's Nightmare, though, yeah, I put a timer from the time that because we parked on the Ag campus and took the shuttle over. And after the concert, I put a timer as soon as we started to get on the bus. It took us over an hour and 18 minutes to get where they picked us up at, which was across from Stokely, all the way down to the drop-off point at the Ag campus.
The bus picked you up by Stokely, and what'd you take? Volunteer?
Yeah, it went down Volunteer and then took a left on Joe Johnson.
Yeah, that was miserable. I was coming that way from Cumberland on to Volunteer and then taking the right by that University Commons.
Yeah.
It was
an
hour and 18 is pretty good because I felt like it was about 2 hours for me.
Yeah, we were kind of at the front of it, as soon as the concert ended, we're just like, all right, let's book it there.
Yeah.
And even then, it still took that long. And the way they had it too, man, not too safe. They had those buses loaded down to where we were scraping every little bit, and it's like, man, the suspension on these things. And then the bus broke down, so they were down a bus. And then I was over here in just a constant radio chatter. There's, some very liquored up concert goers, and there's a girl who was just laying in the street all alone and shooing it out of the way, and that was causing issues.
It's a little bit like a war zone down there for about 2 hours after the show.
Well, it makes me always feel good about not going. So, Bubba, I'm curious, with you going and then having to wait in that traffic, did it taint the night for you, or did you still have a good time?
No, I'm separating the concert from the leaving the concert.
Yeah, see, to me, it's all connected. To me, it would be like, oh, the concert was fun, but getting out was just such a terrible experience that it ruined the night. So I'm glad you still had a good time. That's good.
It's that kind of traffic that makes you just want to pull your hair out after a while. Like after you're sitting there not moving for, you start to get that feeling where you're beyond frustrated and you want to just throw something at somebody. People get tempers flare. People are angry, a lot of horn honking, not a lot of courtesy for when you can move over. It's everybody's miserable.
That was the other thing too. People that were leaving or trying to leave the lots, they're just block off where the shuttles are. So then it's those people waiting in line are upset. The people trying to leave are upset.
Everybody's
the traffic people in charge are upset.
Yeah. Oh, and those traffic cops. I mean, those guys. Oh, they really.
But as Cody said, the game plan, where they opened up 3 lanes, it was pretty easy, I guess, by the time you were actually able to get to your car and leave. Because there was nobody out there because everybody else was sitting in traffic.
It triggers the same feeling I get when I'm getting held down / get claustrophobic.
Yeah.
Where you're just kind of stuck and can't move. And it triggers that same feeling in me. But it looked fun. Josh Heupel up there showing some personality. Him and Peyton Manning and Joey Aguilar and Al Wilson. Did you pop for that, Bubba? Did you start cheering?
I question why 2
That's
people were
my
out
coach. There. You questioned 2 people being out there?
Yeah.
Who?
Heupel and Aguilar.
Well, why are you questioning Josh Heupel being out there?
I don't want him to have fun on a Saturday night in Tennessee.
What the hell you want him to do?
I need his nose to be on the grindstone, recruiting and coaching.
It's nice. It's nice for Heupel to pop up.
Also, it was a piss poor attempt at shotgunning a beverage.
I don't really take him into being too much of a partier, but it's good. It's good when Heupel pops out and shows a little personality. Really, that's all he's got to do. Once every 3 or 4 months, just show up, do something that makes him look like a normal dude, and that goes a long way.
And then Aguilar needs to be down in Jacksonville, man. He's got a new job to start.
Now, if you want to say that about Aguilar, that's a little bit different. Okay, hey, Joey, it's time to lock in. You should be studying the tape. You should be doing everything you can to try to make this roster. That's different. That's a different story. Heupel, though, that's his town. He's in Knoxville. Getting some fans fired up could be a part of the job duty.
You think Al Wilson and Peyton Manning and Heupel, and you think they were sitting in that traffic after the show?
Good question.
Yeah. I do.
That's a good question. If the VIP gets like VIP lane somewhere,
They get like a police escort, maybe.
I know they get to park, or I assume they get to park right there, like kind of under the arena in VIP parking. But I do wonder if they just cut out a little bit early, or how that works.
Yeah.
So
At the very least, they're
around.
sitting in traffic in a much nicer car, I would imagine.
I doubt they're sitting in the traffic.
Yeah.
They probably just go back like to the athletic center, and I don't know. I imagine
Take a nap.
Yeah, I imagine like from the shotgunning the beers on stage, they probably watch the show and then have their own little caravan over to like maybe the athletic center where they post game it. I don't know.
They might have left immediately after doing the shotgunning. They might have said, "Okay, it's time for us to get out of here."
That'd be funny if Peyton was like, "Hey, there's traffic. We got to go. Come on, Al. This traffic's going to be terrible."
Well, I'm glad you went to the concert, Bub. I'm glad we had somebody there representing firsthand.
Boots on the Ground. Is that a Luke Combs song?
Not yet.
Good show. What would you grade it on a scale of 1 to 100, Bubba?
Probably like an 84.
Okay. Are you a Luke Combs fan?
I am, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've seen him before, so it was nice to see him again with more songs to his repertoire.
Okay. What about you, Cody? Anything interesting this weekend?
Just that. I mean, everybody I talked to said it was that it was great. That he's a good performer and everything. I mean, it. Credit to him. Bubba, you said the opener, and I know Dirks Bentley was there, but the other kid, he's only 18.
They had a couple. So the first one they had was like Thelma and James. They played like 3 songs right at like 5:30. So nobody really.
It seemed to me like they had like 6 openers. They started like 5:30. Like
the next
many
guy,
hours.
His name was Jake Worthington. I kind of liked him.
Well, all those guys weren't like on the bill officially,
sure.
Right? Like they're just there.
They were just getting a chance to perform in front of some people.
They might be on the bill. I don't know.
But I mean, to be 18 playing Neyland, I mean, that would be
cool.
pretty.
I think he's like a TikToker that blew up.
Yeah.
So he's like getting all that, young traction from the, the college crowd.
That'd be pretty crazy.
Then after this Jake Worthington guy is that Ty Myers kid who officially got like the bigger, highlighted name underneath Dirks, and then finally Mr. Combs up there.
Did you hear Dirks do Drunk on a Plane?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that would have been the highlight of the show for me.
That man is 50 years old.
Yeah. Well, you can be drunk on a plane at 50.
Yeah. Ain't nothing stopping you from doing it when you're 60 either, Bubba.
You can be drunk on a plane anytime you want. Just
not Spirit. Don't go on a Spirit plane.
Yeah.
We had absolute nightmare fuel though, because it's like I went with my sister and her husband, and they wanted to get end seats of the row.
Sure.
Instead of the middle. And the problem is, concerts and so people are constantly getting over and coming through. And then my sister's got a boot on her foot, for a little bit too, because she hurt herself. So she's having to get up and hobble out and have to hobble back in. And then people are like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Excuse me."
Did people step on her? Did they all talk like that? Did people step on her boot, on her foot?
They probably tried to. I mean, heck, they stepped all over my feet.
I got to say, Bubba, I'm on her side there. I want to be on the aisle as well.
Oh, everybody does.
I'm an interior guy because I know I'm not getting up once I get there.
See, that's crazy.
You don't urinate?
I ain't got to. I control my bladder. I don't let my bladder control me.
You drink?
I did not this weekend.
You weren't boozing? Well, if you're boozing, you're going to have to get up to pee.
Preferring the middle of a concert aisle, I mean, I'm not saying it's crazy. It's caught me by surprise because it feels a little crazy.
It just eases the interactions. I don't want people crossing over me, and I don't want to keep crossing over people.
I feel you. I understand.
You'll change your tune if you gain about 150 pounds.
I just want the option in case I need to go to the bathroom and not being able to just jet out too whenever I need. But I don't control my bladder.
That's why you finish that drink and boom, there you go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll talk some sports coming up after the break. Great first-hand account, Bubba. Great job letting us know what happened at Luke Combs.
What'd you do this weekend?
I went to Luke Combs as well. Stick with us. It's Talk Sports on Fan Run Radio.
This is Fan Run Radio.
What kind of day is it? It's a White Claw day. Grab a pack, grab your friends. Everything else in life can wait. Your friends shouldn't. Let's go. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Are you thinking of buying a home but don't know where to start? Well, call VFL Josh Travis, your local mortgage expert with Foundation Mortgage, based right here in Knoxville. Whether it's your first home or your forever home, he'll keep the process simple every step of the way. To get started, visit mortgagebrokerjosh.com or call 423-312-9777 today. Foundation Mortgage Company, LLC is an equal opportunity housing company. NMLS number 1387311.
Welcome to Axle Logistics, where excellence isn't just a goal, it's an energy. As a leading third-party logistics company, Axle is powered by an award-winning culture built on a work hard, play hard mentality. Here, the drive for success is contagious and hard work never goes unnoticed. Whether you're just starting out or looking to level up, Axle Logistics is the place to launch your career. Join us and take your ambition to the stars. To learn more, visit axlelogistics.com.
Hey, Vols fans, Cody Brown here. I grew up right here in Tennessee and know what it means when someone says, I've got your back. That's why you can trust Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee. Whether it's your home, your vehicle, your family's future, or the business you built from the ground up, we will show up for all of your insurance needs. We are Tennesseans who understand what matters, which is doing right by you. Insurance is not all about just paperwork and policies, but it's about the people we insure every day. So if you want insurance that hits home, give me a call at 865-992-3871. Go Vols.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Are you ready for the start of a new season? Maybe looking for your team to go on a tournament run? Get game day ready with Crumble. Head on over to your nearest location and pick up 12 pre-selected cookies plus exclusive toppers. When you're looking for dessert options, there's no question about who you should call on. Our listeners already know. Last year, the Dubai chocolate was a home run, along with the brownie batter. Oreo crumb was another crowd favorite. What new flavor will set the standard this season? If you're in the Knoxville area, there are 3 locations ready to serve you: Clinton Highway, Parkside Drive, and Maryville. Download the Crumble app to build your best lineup and vote on the best combos. You can even put your bid in to request a new flavor. Order in the app and slide on over to your nearest location. Tell them Fan Run sent you, and as always, it's for the fans, by the fans. Don't miss the cookies.
Good morning, Knoxville. I'm Aiden Sidoti, and this is your TalkSports update for Monday, May 4th. Number 24, Tennessee baseball salvaged the series finale on the road at Kentucky, taking down the Wildcats 10-9 behind a huge day from first baseman Levi Clark, who went 3 for 3 with 2 home runs to power the Vols offense. In golf, Cameron Young captured the Cadillac Championship after shooting 4 under on Sunday to finish the week at 19 under for his second PGA Tour win of the season. And in the NBA, Cade Cunningham scored 32 points and Tobias Harris added 30 as the Detroit Pistons rolled past Orlando 116-94 in Game 7. For the latest news on all things Tennessee baseball, head over to fanrunradio.com or check out the new Fan Run Sports app. And now back to you guys in the studio.
Cody, what are you most into this morning on this Monday morning?
Well, you know, the big topic over the weekend locally seemed to be the discussion surrounding Danny Wood, as some are calling it.
People bitching about Danny Wood?
Yeah, well, it seems like the conversation has shifted from complaining about the entertainment district as a whole to just the hotel. It seems like more people are on board with, okay, we're doing the entertainment district, whatever, that's fine. But this hotel blocking the view from the river is a problem. So I think the anger has shifted to simply the hotel for a lot of people.
And why's that? Why are they mad about the hotel?
It's too tall.
It's too tall?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw Russ trying to tell people to email the board of trustees. Like, is he?
He did, yes.
Is he rolled up by this?
Seems to be. Yep.
Yeah.
And I know Tony, he's pretty upset by it.
No disrespect to either of those guys who I love, but to me it feels a lot like them crying all the time about moving from Nike to Adidas. It's just something to get people riled up about that really doesn't matter.
Well, I can't decide. I'm having trouble deciding on if it matters or not, if we should be angry about it or not. Because, last week we talked about it, and I think you and me were pretty much in agreement. Like, hey, it's fine. Like, everybody's overreacting about a parking garage getting demolished and all this. But when you look at the depictions, the renderings of what that hotel may be, I suppose I can understand some frustration. I don't know how mad people really are. I don't know what percentage of people are just looking for something to complain about versus it actually is not good for our, what do you call it, tradition and such. I mean, because I'm okay with things changing. The city grows, you adapt. This hotel apparently would be the third tallest building in Knoxville.
So it seems as if it seems as if you have changed your mind. It seems as if you are now.
No, I'm.
It seems as if you've been swayed by Russ and Tony.
No, I haven't. But I'm trying to listen to all the opinions and decide how I feel for myself, and I don't really know how I feel.
Okay,
because I don't find myself to be mad about it. But at the same time, I start thinking about it. I'm like, well, if I'm sitting in the south end of the stadium, or let's say I'm sitting on the north end of the stadium, and I'm looking ahead at the game on the field, and I'm looking up at the scoreboard, and I see this hotel towering to my, to my corner here. Does that bother me? I'm like, well.
Do you think everybody in Chicago cried whenever like those buildings are right outside Wrigley Field? And it's like, oh, we got bleachers out there. We got stands on top of the apartments. People can now sit up there and watch the game. Because when I was in Chicago at Wrigley Field, smothered in those seats and freezing but also uncomfortable and hoping the guy next to me didn't spill his big ass sandwich all over me, I was looking at those seats on top of the rooftops. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine they weren't there in 1915.
Probably not.
So, like, if Wrigley Field in Chicago can adapt some of the skyline outside of the stadium, I don't think we're above that. I don't think our tradition outranks that.
Well, I mean, I am a proponent of, preserving tradition in some ways where you can. Like I do think we have one of the great cathedrals in college football.
Sure.
But then I think to myself, is it really a big deal that you can't see the stadium from the river? But because I think people are most upset about just the view.
I might be in the complete minority. I might be in the complete minority here, but like when I went to Kodak to watch the Smokies, the old like kind of janky scoreboard and trees out there, I much prefer seeing like the new like condos down there when I'm there and like all the outside stuff and just people living there and having those buildings right there.
Yeah, and nobody's complaining about that, but
that's the same concept though. To me.
It's not though, because that's a AA baseball stadium with nobody truly cares about in comparison to Neyland. You know what I mean?
But like, how many people sit inside Neyland and care about the view outside the stadium?
Well, I don't know. That's what I'm asking. Because
if you told me you built the hotel in the end zone, If you told me it was in the stadium and like they changed the checkerboards to pink or got rid of the checkerboards or started building stuff there,
right,
removing seats to put like a statue of Danny White down there, then I would have some issues with it. But to me, I understand that, yes, it's a AA stadium. No one really cares about that. But the point is, it's outside the stadium. It's change. It's something. It's high rise. It's commercial. I don't mind looking at it. So I just wonder how many people actually care about seeing something outside the stadium that doesn't impact.
Well, it seems like a lot of people care, or maybe it's just people mad online.
Well, I was going to say, respectfully, it seems like this is just the new thing for everybody to bitch about. Like, it seems like, look, Russell and Tony, they've done a great job over the years of cultivating a fan base that likes to cry and complain about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They want to call and be mad about stuff. And I understand that half of it's a bit and half of it's just people like complaining. But, like, I don't know if you remove, the entertainment aspect of just, hey, I'm going to call the radio station and be funny and try to complain, or, hey, I'm going to get online and be miserable.
Well, no, I think that there's people that really are upset about it, but I wonder, at what level they are really upset about it.
Like, I'm upset, but I'm upset because we, let Kentucky whip our ass this weekend in baseball. That's what I'm upset about. Them coming out and scoring, what was it, 30 runs on us?
Well, so essentially what you're saying there is if football is good, it doesn't matter. And I do think I've seen a lot of that too, is like, I don't want to go down to the game and this is my experience now. And, it's going to make traffic worse and everything's going to be worse and I'm going down to watch a 6-6 football team.
I don't know if traffic will be worse or not. Danny White tells me that it'll be better. I don't know if that's true. What I would say, though, to that is I don't understand how it could be worse. Like, traffic has been...
I don't either.
Yeah, like, traffic has been abysmal, and it ruins a part of the experience for me. I don't know how it would be worse because it's already terrible. If all this makes it worse, we'll have a different conversation.
Well, and also I think people realize the fact that, say it was something cool for the university and it is progress and it is something that's going to be neat for people, the common fan is not really going to be able to enjoy it. It is like the people that are going to be watching the game from up at that hotel, like the regular Joes are not going to be allowed in that hotel.
Well, yeah, if they're talking about staying or being in that actual hotel, sure, but they'll be able to enjoy the entertainment district.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think the anger has shifted from. I think everybody kind of realizes we're doing the entertainment district,
but now they're trying to stop the hotel.
It's the hotel now that is the problem because it towers over Neyland.
So I kind of had this realization over the weekend where they've been like dry testing. I don't know if that's the right phrase or not. But the entertainment district, but they're like sponsored tailgates that they do outside of like, gate 19, 20, 21,
sure.
Whatever like the ramp is. It's like they've had like, I don't know if it's been White Claw and like Texas Roadhouse or whatever,
yeah.
But they've kind of been soft launching it. And now they're just like, what, people like this, we're going head over heels for it.
I hadn't heard people like, linking those two, but I mean, it makes sense in terms of just you start getting some corporate stuff down there and kind of slowly start changing stuff. I don't know. I saw the people upset about the hotel. I was confused as to where that came from. So it's literally just because it's too tall.
I think so. I think because it is going to block the view from the river.
Block the view from the river?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Just like
you can't see the river from the stadium, right?
Well,
you can't see out into the water.
Okay, well, that's another side of it because you can, like Bubba was saying last week, if you're on that very top row.
So we are now catering to a different 1%, not the 1% of rich people, the 1% of people that sit in the one exact spot where they can turn around and look outside the stadium.
Well, that's one side of it, but I think most of the anger is coming from people that say you can't see the stadium from Neyland Drive or like when you're on the river. Or I heard one guy saying
when you're on the river, so like the people that are like out on kayaks have to paddle a little bit further to see the stadium, like. I'm glad you're explaining this to me because I've been confused. So we're catering to the 10 fans that sit in the one section in Neyland Stadium and a couple of boaters that maybe don't have the perfect angle of it the entire time.
And anyone driving on Neyland Drive going to Calhoun's that like to look to the left and say, Neyland Stadium right
you
there.
clearly don't take your woman walking down by, Suttree River Landing Park.
I don't. I don't.
Because you do that, you see the sunset happen. It's like, oh, that's a pretty sky over the stadium. That's me. Oh, that's a pretty sky over a hotel.
Okay,
wow.
that's fine. Add in 20 more people that take this walk. So I just always hear this fan base, complaining about Danny White and people catering to the rich people, the wine and cheese crowd, as Bubba calls them. But now what we want to cater to are the 10 people that sit in the spots in Neyland Stadium where they can see the river, 20 people that walk on Suttree Landing, is that what you called it, down there, that walkway, and some people that are driving that want to look and see Neyland Stadium the entire time.
Well, and don't forget people coming across the bridge from Chapman Highway, because I heard somebody on the radio talking about that it's one of the great views, one of the picturesque views when you can look to the left off Henley Street and see the stadium right there. I did hear one guy on the radio saying that.
So now you won't be able to see the stadium now?
Do you think the iconic Hendon Hooker shot with the Vols logo is going to be improved or, more ugly with the big old hotel in the corner?
Hold on. The what? The iconic what?
Hendon Hooker picture where he's like, What
Hendon Hooker picture?
All right.
Oh, the one of him in the stadium. Oh, okay. I can't see the river water from there either.
No, but you'll see a damn hotel up
in
the top left corner of it.
No, you won't. Find me the picture. I want to see if you can see it, because I know what picture you're talking about, but you could just see the crowd here in this one. I mean, it was similar to this one. There's there's a crowd there.
Well, I am picturing the old CBS coming in, say the 2022 Alabama game where they're panning up, welcoming you. Welcome to Neyland Stadium, and you got Brad Nessler, and it pans
on the
up
banks of the historic Tennessee River.
And it shows the backside with the Vols letters and the back of the scoreboard there. And Knoxville, Tennessee, what a beautiful scene here on the Tennessee River.
I mean, I feel like it'll be kind of cooler if you zoom out now. You'll see the party district, then the river. You get both.
Yeah.
Versus doesn't it just look really old over there?
Look, I don't want to be. I've said for years, I'm very much on record. I've always thought that the south end of the stadium for a long time has been an eyesore.
Right.
I mean,
I feel like a lot of people have said that.
I've said that for years. I brought friends here from Arkansas and try to show them the stadium, and
sure.
And I'll never forget my buddies saying, "Boy, it kind of rough looking there on the backside, isn't it?" And it kind of embarrassed me.
Sure,
this is one of the great cathedrals of college football. Boy, you got them old air conditioning units hanging out the back of the south end there, kind of ugly, isn't it? And so, I mean, I've thought that renovations needed to be done for a long time. I don't know that my thoughts on that included building a 20-story hotel, but I don't feel angry about it personally.
You sound like you're really torn.
Well, no, I'm trying to just understand both sides of the coin here.
You're really torn.
I'm trying to look at the other side of it.
Tony and Russell and Philly has really swayed you, it sounds like.
No, not really. I'm just I'm trying to see all sides of the coin.
Sure.
And I'm trying to understand why people are mad, the people who are mad about it. And I don't know that I am mad about it, to be honest with you. I don't really think I am. I haven't felt the urge to email the Board of Trustees over it. But also I'm thinking, well, what if, once it goes up, it ain't coming down. So what if it is an eyesore? What if it is ugly? And we got this big ass hotel built here.
I hope that Russell and Tony and everyone that's upset about it, I hope they write their emails, and then I hope they take a stand and they boycott. They don't go to the entertainment district at all.
Well, they don't go down there anyway.
Well, they don't go to the entertainment district. And no, I'll go further. Russell, he doesn't want to see the hotel. Boycott and don't go back inside Neyland Stadium. Stand for something or fall for anything. Tell Danny White that it's not going to be accepted by you, that he is going to put his Dannywood in there. And you're not going to give him any money, and you're not going to support it. Take a stand. You don't have to go look at that hotel. Don't go. down there to the entertainment district.
I do wonder what percentage of people who are mad about it actually go down there and, you know what I mean, are actually really heavily involved right there in the activities on the south side.
In going to football games?
Yeah.
Russ goes to a fair share of football games, or at least a couple a year. I mean, I know he does voluntary action, but there's a couple he's like, hey, I'd rather go to the game this time. So Russ is still out there.
I don't know if it's justified anger or not. I mean, it is changing something. You know, a lot of people just don't like change, and it is changing something. Is it a big deal? Like, do you see why people are mad, or are you just kind of like?
Oh, no, I understand why people are mad. I understand that people don't like change, and I understand that, like, it's more commercialization. Yeah, I get that. And I'm sure people in Chicago were mad when they did start trying to commercialize some of the Wrigleyville stuff. But then it seems like now everyone kind of loves it and kind of loves the seats outside the stadium on top of apartments that they could sit in. It just seems like, and I also understand the idea of people just like to complain, but also that for some people it's just a bit to get on here and complain. It's an entertainment business. I don't know how much Russell and Tony and them actually care either.
I don't think they're doing a bit. I don't think it's a bit.
Well, also, like I kind of joked with Russ about, like, you would have thought we were headed to war over the Nike Adidas stuff, and it's kind of like, whatever.
Yeah.
But most rational people are just kind of like, okay, it's fine. We'll take the extra money. We'll do this, and this.
Well, another point that they're making that they don't like it, or at least I've heard Tony say this, is like that entertainment district is not going to be, you know, for the majority of the year, it's not going to be in business. It doesn't feel like, you know, it's only going to be 20 times a year maybe that is really used.
There's a chance it's a failure, and that definitely, you don't want it to turn into a revolving door. I agree with Tony there, and the worst thing that could happen is if you build all that stuff and then you have just a bunch of vacant spots. You don't have to go far to see that on campus, right? Just go to where
University Commons,
right, where Fieldhouse Social and Walmart was. Like, to me, those are kind of black eyes on campus when you get over there. So I fully agree with that. Now, I think I maybe disagree with the whole only 20 times per year, because I do think there'll be enough baseball games, enough basketball games, enough football games, but also concerts at Thompson Bowling Arena. And I do hope that it leads to at least one or two businesses over there being catered to students, or being catered to people like on a semi-affordable date night type of place. There's no reason that you can't have a couple of Market Square type restaurants over there.
I don't think there's going to be anything catered to students, really.
And there might not be, but I think that'd be a big swing and miss. Like the University Commons, they did try to cater that to students, but they just didn't give them enough stuff and enough reason to go over there.
Well, and the fact that the rents will be so high that it'll just end up being a bunch of chains is another thing. It's not going to be your mom and pop, like, local places.
And to me, that doesn't really matter in the sense of I'm not, like, anti-chain. If you get the chains over there that have the staying power, I think that would benefit. I think that would be better for the experience than having some mom and pops try to make it that go out of business. Like, I'd rather have some chain backing there.
I mean, it depends on what it is.
Sure,
you're going to need some kind of sports bar type of place, obviously.
But like, if instead of a local generic Peyton's Place type, or Saloon 16 type of place, that, like, that's a local place. I don't feel like that has any soul or any. Like, if they do a walk-ons instead of that, like, I don't think that's a bad thing.
Well, that's the type of place I'm imagining that it'll be, something like a walk-ons.
Yeah, and I don't have an issue if it's a walk-ons, or hell, even a tin roof. I mean, if they
don't want it to be there, like a Red Lobster.
No, it'd be. Bubba's making a face. He would want it.
Why not?
But you're right. I am
Cheddar biscuits over here.
I am very curious as to, like, whenever we start getting the names of the buildings. And
like, are they going to put a Great Clips over there? Like, I mean, I don't know what people want, like what would be ideal to be in that entertainment district. You would want kind of some Tennessee-centric places, wouldn't you? Like I mean, I don't know. They put like a yeehaw in there, or I don't know what they'll do. But
yeah. I mean, a yeehaw would check both those boxes. It'd be kind of a hybrid of it, not necessarily a chain, but a national, at least regionally respected brand. It's a big deal. They'd have some money to maybe handle the off season, but I don't know if they'd want to compete with their big establishment.
Maybe 40 times a year is when it'll really be. I don't know how much baseball action.
Sure.
I think concerts for sure, basketball.
I just feel like that place would also be packed for like parents' weekend, and anytime people's parents come into town, graduation, I imagine, would be a madhouse.
I don't know. I mean, typically those people go to Market Square and back,
so, right? But if they put good restaurants down there,
yeah, maybe.
Especially while it's new. Like anything, though, like there'll be a honeymoon phase where people try it out, and it's just whether or not they land the plane whenever people try it out, whether or not they can handle the crowd and give them good service and give them good stuff, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, the hotel, I don't know if I've got it in me to be worked up about that. Like I said, I'm mad about the baseball team. I'm mad about that product right now. That's where my focus is. Bubba, send us a break. We'll come back and we'll do some complaining about them. Stick with us. Let's talk sports on Fan Run Radio.
Check out exclusive Fan Run video content on YouTube. Just search Fan Run Sports and be sure to like and subscribe.
Blackford Veterinary Surgery Referral specializes in surgeries not regularly performed by your pet's general veterinarian. They're currently accepting referrals from vets all across the country. With their newly renovated state-of-the-art surgery center and highly trained staff, clients can rely on professional and thorough care. If your vet says that your pet needs surgery or rehab, ask for a referral to Blackford Vet and let them get your best friend back on its feet. Located conveniently in West Knoxville. For more information, visit blackfordvetsurgery.com.
Running a business, coaching a team, planning your next big event, you need more than just gear. You need SM Athletics and Logo Solutions. Custom uniforms, branded apparel, promotional products, done right, done fast, and built to show off your brand with pride. From local businesses to high schools to major universities, SM Athletics is trusted by winners. Get real service, get real quality, get noticed. SM Athletics and Logo Solutions, where your brand comes to life.
Visit smathletics.com and let's build something great together.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Citizens National Bank.
Life is more fun with a Good Life account, offering extra benefits, including bank travel. Experience the trip of a lifetime to Ireland. Explore rolling green hills, historic castles, and charming villages across the Emerald Isle. Get in on the fun. Call 865-429-7935 today.
Citizens National Bank. Banking never felt so good.
Member FDIC.
A brand built in Tennessee and born from the love of the game. Inward Half revolutionizes golfing comfort. Crafted by a former pro and dedicated enthusiast just like you, our luxury performance wear guarantees you stay cool and comfortable through every swing and every day. We're not just a brand. We've set out to create a lifestyle for those who understand that impeccable style and premium performance are a hole-in-one. Enjoy the walk-in with Inward Half.
To everyone listening, recorded on podcasts or live with us right now on YouTube, I think those might be the only two ways you can hear us right now. We made some more upgrades. We finally got rid of Comcast, made some switch over to some better internet, but in the process of doing that, things got I don't know how to really explain it. I'm not a technical guy, but basically we got to connect everything again and get the boxes on the radio to communicate with each other. We got to get the stream fixed and redone. It'll be a couple hours. The boss has been working on it all weekend. It should be fixed by this afternoon, if I was guessing. But again, I'm not a tech guy. I don't really know. I just know we're live right now, on video at least. And I know we got the podcast rolling. And we'll keep you up to date whenever we make progress. Shout out to everybody watching over on YouTube. You can always get our content there. And you can even get extra content. Just go give us a like, a thumbs up on the Fan Run Sports page. How's the chat feeling right now, Cody, about all the stuff we're talking about?
Well, there's everybody's seems to be very intrigued. Invoice from Danny writes, what do you think people did when the north end zone was closed up and we lost the view of Ayers Hall? If you care about views, go take a hike. It's a football game, not a scenic river view. It's a good point. You know, we used to be an open-ended stadium right there, and you could see right up the hill to Ayers. And then they closed that in.
Right, and I brought that point up last week. I'm sure people did get mad about that, and people got mad about us changing our tradition there and selling out for more seats in the stadium. I would say, though, that like over the years, no one's really complained about that, and everyone's like, oh, you know what? I like having the bigger stadium. It's cooler.
TNT K1L is on the other side of things. He said he's had family tickets in Y8 since 1970. We don't really want to stare at a hotel. It's not a feel-good story like the Children's Hospital at Iowa.
Sure. I'm not gonna try to say it's a feel-good story. I don't think it is.
Russ nearly cried in his opening segment Friday, says Danny. He was emotional, talking about how this stuff matters and the iconic view of our stadium is gone. It was unbelievable. Hewitt Pruitt says entertainment district is cool, hotel too big, simple.
Okay. And I agree that it's being what did you say, the third biggest building in Knoxville?
That's what they're saying. Just behind the First Horizon and that other one right beside it. What's it used to be, the BB&T?
I do agree that was a little jarring to hear that. But then I was thinking, do we have big buildings in Knoxville?
Not really. Big Dog in West TN says nobody wants Danny's Disneyland, and he capitalizes the end.
Okay.
Very, very creative there. Disneyland.
Disneyland is I think better than Dannywood.
Disneyland. Yeah, it is pretty good.
Yeah. I think I give it a leg up over Dannywood.
Matt says he's in Y10 for the past 10 years. Only time he looks up is for the flyover or replay on the Jumbotron. So chalk him up to no big deal. Basilio's Beak says, who cares about a hotel? Are we getting Juke Harris today?
It does appear that we are getting – that's the thing about the timeline, like in terms of when you're getting Juke Harris. I do think Basilio's Beak that we are getting Juke Harris. I think we've already gotten Juke Harris. But on these things, you just kind of have to wait till you get the official announcement. I think you could easily connect the dots, and I think everyone has, over the last week, how pretty much everyone has come out and either given their crystal ball prediction or came out and flat out said that like Michigan wasn't in the mix anymore, or just, Rick Barnes kind of winking and feeling good about things. And I think everyone kind of knows that it's coming with Juke Harris. It's just a matter of when the announcement happens. And then it's also a matter of what that means in terms of him giving his commitment and saying he's coming to Tennessee. And what I mean by that is, is that him just saying, you know what, the draft stuff was fun. I'm fully committed to playing basketball at Tennessee this season. We'll do the draft stuff next year. Those are the two questions I have. Not so much if, and really, I don't even really care about when. The only question I have is just, what does it mean for his NBA future, and what does it mean for his, NBA dreams and an attempt to get to the league? Because I fully believe, and I have for the last week or so, that Juke Harris is not going to play college basketball anywhere else. Now, that doesn't mean that he's going to play at Tennessee. Like I said, he might end up in the NBA, but I do think if he plays college basketball, he'll be wearing Big Orange.
Glad we have an AD focused on making money and upgrading, or else the program will fall behind, says J.R. Lowe.
There is some truth to all of this. And look, we have fun with Danny White, too. Now, I don't think I'm as mean to Danny White as a lot of people are. I started calling him Dr. Danny because he wanted to come in here and fix everything. But there is a lot of truth that, we needed fixing. You know what I mean? We needed fixing, and this is a big billion-dollar business. And you need to be focused on making money. And look, the reality is, and it does suck, and, TNTK in the chat, he says there's also something to people feeling marginalized. And look, I fully understand that. And I fully do feel for the people that feel like, hey, something they love has turned into this big professional business that they wanted to pretend it wasn't. I do fully get that. If you thought that college sports were supposed to be, amateurism and pure and just for the love of the game, I get it. Now, look, I would say that over the last 15 years, basically Nick Saban's entire run, and we all kind of knew players were getting paid and getting stuff under the table, and it was about spending just millions and millions and millions of dollars on facilities and all this stuff that, amateurism was already kind of gone because the playing field wasn't equal. But, if you want to feel like that's gone away, or if you feel like that, the University of Tennessee and Danny White by proxy is just simply focused on disconnecting you from your money, I will not argue with you at all, because I think that is fair.
Well, and if that's with what you're saying, I do think, to me, 50% of this, maybe, I don't know if it's a perfect number, but maybe 50% of this anger, you asked where the anger comes from, is this disdain for Danny White that is kind of snowballed when you go from being the everything school to looking up and seeing that your women's basketball program's no good, your baseball team is below average at this point, football is looking at a tough year ahead with a tough schedule, and that really Rick Barnes is the only thing keeping you, the only star really shining in the sky right now for Tennessee athletics.
Well, even with all that stuff said, the women's basketball program is really the only one you could point to that's in bad shape. You could say
I don't think baseball's in good shape.
No, that's fine, but you can't write the obituary for baseball yet.
Sure.
LSU won the national championship last year, and they're probably going to miss the tournament this year. So, baseball is a sport where you can't necessarily be sustained great every year. And I'm not making excuses for Josh Elander, because I'm not sure he's going to make it here or not. I'm just saying our baseball program's not an embarrassment just yet. It's still middle of the pack, and we'll see where it goes. Football, you were 1 year removed from making the playoff. You had a down year this year, but even a down year at 8-4 is still a pretty good, bottom level for what Josh Heupel and the program's been. I think most people are if you remove yourself from the emotions of the season and the negative echo chamber, I do say, Cody, that the majority of people feel good about our football program.
Well, that's fine right now today. But
sure.
It's only going to intensify months down the road if this football season is 7-5.
Yeah. I'm not going to accept 7-5. I don't think we have a roster that'll go 7-5. We'll see what the quarterbacks do, but we went out and spent a bunch of money in the transfer portal, and our roster should be pretty good.
Roster should be, but quarterback is, that'll be the big question.
Yeah, we'll see what the quarterback does, and that is going to be the big question. And Josh Heupel will be judged by that. To me, it just comes back to Danny White's the face of business, and he's the face of removing you from your money. And it's expensive to be a college athletics fan. Talk about the everything school, but you don't really take into account for the fans that means you're spending a lot of money on everything. Baseball is expensive. Basketball is expensive. Football is expensive. I mean, it is more expensive to root for the University of Tennessee than it is to root for a professional sports team. You have to help fund the thing, and that's annoying. I get all that.
Yeah, Eric says you can't have cake and eat it too. Can't have small city vibes with the continuing financial demands of NIL, of running an elite program.
Well, that's where I come back to. This isn't a mom and pop organization. You got to treat it like $1 billion business. The problem is it's $1 billion business that needs to take a lot of money from its fans. or at least is accustomed to taking a lot of money from its fans. We'll continue the conversation, I'm sure, throughout maybe even this show, throughout the weeks. Appreciate all the feedback from the freaks. Shout out to them watching on YouTube. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Tell a friend. Hour 1 in the books. We'll kick off hour 2 with some headlines. Stick with us. It's Talk Sports on Fan Run Radio.
The flagship station for Tennessee football. Fans. Fan Run Radio.
Is your yard starting to look more wild than welcoming? Yeah, don't let your landscape be that house on the block. At ECR Total Landscapes, we make sure your outdoor space is something you're proud of. From de-weeding flower beds to leaf blowing, trimming, mulching, and more, completely customizable to your property's specific needs. We'll handle it all. Why spend your weekends sweating it out in the yard when you can just sit back and enjoy it? That's the ECR difference. And right now, new customers can get 10% off your first month of our monthly maintenance package when you sign up for a full calendar year. That's right. Consistent, reliable service at a price that makes it easy to get started. No sweat, no hassle, just a better looking lawn week after week. Call ECR Total Landscapes today and mention promo code FANRUN to save 10% on your first month. Call 865-384-2012 or visit us online at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Planning for spring at Lowe's means big savings on outdoor power equipment, and Lowe's knows nothing feels better than free. Buy one select Ego string trimmer, leaf blower, or mower kit. Get one select 56-volt battery free. That's up to a $299 value. Power through spring with Ego, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 4/3 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Hey Knoxville! Surfside iced tea and vodka, made with real brewed tea, is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, with no bubbles and no troubles. That's right, zero carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. Headed to a game day or party at a friend's house? Bring an iced tea or lemonade variety pack from Surfside, or try their green tea and new raspberry tea vodka. Find the can with the sunset stripes this season. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sunshine in a can. Must be 21 or older. Enjoy responsibly.
Hi, this is Dr. Stephen Malone at Knoxville Smiles. Has it been a while since your last dental visit? If so, I'd like to invite you to come see us. At Knoxville Smiles, it's our vision to provide the best dental care in town in a relaxed, friendly environment. So if it's been a while and you've been putting it off, don't wait any longer. Come see us at Knoxville Smiles. You can schedule an appointment online at knoxvillesmiles.com or by phone at 865-539-1776.
Life is more fun with a Good Life account, offering extra benefits, including bank travel. Experience the trip of a lifetime to Ireland. Explore rolling green hills, historic castles, and charming villages across the Emerald Isle. Get in on the fun. Call 865-429-7935 today.
Citizens National Bank. Banking never felt so good.
Member FDIC.
Welcome to Axle Logistics, where excellence isn't just a goal, it's an energy. As a leading third-party logistics company, Axle is powered by an award-winning culture built on a work hard, play hard mentality. Here, the drive for success is contagious and hard work never goes unnoticed. Whether you're just starting out or looking to level up, Axle Logistics is the place to launch your career. Join us and take your ambition to the stars. To learn more, visit axlelogistics.com.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
All right, so you're bet.
Number 2 kicking off here in the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios. Enjoy some light, refreshing White Claw Hard Seltzer. Enjoy it responsibly. All right, Cody, let's hit some news. Give me some Hour 2 headlines, please.
Thank you, John. I'm sitting here staring at this Starbucks cold brew bottle. And you remember the trivia question we had last week? One of them was, when was Starbucks founded?
Yeah.
I'm sitting here staring at it. It says Starbucks 1971. You would have been so mad if I had this bottle last week.
Well, I thought about it whenever they asked the question because you had a Starbucks cup, and I was sitting there thinking, like, if you just thought to look. Now, you didn't have that. So,
No.
yeah, it wasn't there that visible, but just like on a standard Starbucks like plastic cup, if you like would scroll, it was like copyrighted 1971 or something.
Yeah, they don't have that on the cups. But this bottle right here, it says Starbucks 1971.
You'll never forget it again.
No, I'll probably remember that. Well, I give thanks to Luke Combs for making my rent this weekend. He helped me in just 2 days. I was able to make all the money I need for the rent. Thank you to Luke Combs. I gave the same thanks to Morgan Wallen, Garth Brooks back when it happened. And soon I will be thanking the Savannah Bananas, as they should provide the June rent for me. They played in front of 102,000 fans over the weekend down at Texas A&M. The Banana sensation continues. Saturday night at Kyle Field, 102,000, an all-time attendance record for the team in their game against the Texas Tailgaters. So the Savannah Bananas, they're coming to Neyland in a couple of weeks. I don't know. You think we'll sell out Neyland? Does the Texas Tailgaters being in the game, does that have an impact on there being that many people at A&M? I don't know.
No, these guys are just rock stars.
Yeah, but 102,000, that's crazy for what they do. But
I mean, they're about to do it here. Yeah, I mean, in a couple weeks. You know, my cousin's high school boyfriend, she's still dating him, but they've been dating for years. He plays for one of the other teams. You know how there's like there's like 4 or 5, 6 other teams of the Banana Ball.
Yeah, those other teams got to be pretty jealous seeing the Bananas.
Well, no, they get to go in there and play against them. So I mean, they get to reap the benefits. Like they're the Bananas are obviously the ones funding the whole entire league, and those guys are just out there to play the Bananas. But I would like to maybe ask her, like, hey, you got any tickets?
That's something you'd want to go see?
No, it's not. And like I was getting ready to say, I don't think I have as much of a problem with the hotel as many people, but I don't like that the Bananas will be using Neyland Stadium to play sports in it. That to me feels a lot cheaper. That to me feels a lot more soulless, and like we've lost our way letting that mockery happen inside our stadium than the damn hotel outside the stadium.
Well, people clearly enjoy it.
No, people love it, and there'll be 100,000 people there watching it, and the kids will have a good time, and I don't really have a problem with it because, like, hey, do whatever, make money, give people entertainment, whatever.
Wonder what the next concert will be.
I don't know what it'll be, but I wonder when it'll be.
I wonder what it'll be.
Like, is it going to be something we do like every year now moving forward? We're going to try to find something every May to do. Will we try to do it again like during the fall, like for some type of, of our bye week or a road game like we did with Morgan Wallen, centered around the Oklahoma road game? Because Danny says he wants to start using buildings to make money. Like, he did say that. And like Neyland Stadium can make even more money if you have, successful concerts there. And we are in the era of stadium tours. Sometimes I'm surprised at the guys and gals that can fill stadiums.
You can thank the Rolling Stones for that.
Were they the first people to ever do a stadium tour?
They were the first band to do a real, the Beatles played Shea Stadium back in the day, but it was like kind of a one-off special things. But the Stones were the first to do like a whole stadium tour. They led the way for a lot of years for like the biggest concerts in stadium, like the highest grossing tours. They don't anymore, of course, but like everybody does them now. If you're big enough though to do a stadium, that's what I wonder about with these country concerts, because it seems like that's been the lane the last few years for Tennessee. How many more country stars are big enough to do? Because a country concert is the best concert. You got all the women walking around wearing boots. Everybody's drinking. Everybody's having a good time. Everybody loves a country concert, like whether you like the artist or not. I mean, that's just kind of the best good time, you know.
I mean, George Strait just did 90,000 people at Clemson over the weekend.
George Strait did?
Yeah.
He's touring again?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah, no, I bought tickets to his farewell tour back in like 2013.
At the Cowboy rides away.
Yeah, it was
Cowboy rode back in for all that money.
He's done like 3 more tours since then, but like in 2013, 2014, they were selling it. Hell, it might have been 2012. They were selling it as his final tour ever.
Yeah,
and I made a lot of money reselling those tickets.
Yeah,
all across the country. I would buy tickets because his fan club would just give you tickets. Like you could get the pre-sale first. So I was getting floor seats and just selling them. And everyone was like, "Oh my God, it's the last time I can see George Strait." So everyone was paying good money for it. And I swear to God, he's done 3 more tours since then. But over the weekend, he just did 90,000 at Clemson.
Well, bring George Strait in here. I would maybe go to that one. I don't know that I would because I'd want to make the money, but I would be tempted to go see George Strait.
I've seen George Strait in concert. I can't imagine that I want to see George Strait anymore. And it's not even like disrespectful, but like there's no bells and whistles to it at all. Like he just sits up there and plays.
Not much of a showman.
Yeah, like so I don't think I would want to go see it, but hell, 90,000 people just did at Clemson.
Well,
and Zach Bryan did Starkville. You know, I know Starkville, Mississippi ain't got the biggest stadium, but he just did a stadium there. I mean, he's been doing college stadiums the last couple of years, so I don't know when the well will run dry and we start like differentiating some of these artists in terms of like who's actually stadium worthy or if all these people can be stadium worthy.
Well,
Bruno Mars is doing it right now. You know, I said Zach Bryan, Luke Combs, you know, Morgan Wallen can do it. There's a lot of Taylor Swift, you know, did it all over the place.
I wonder if Neyland would be good for it. Could you do a different genre? Like would a pop concert hit?
I mean, Taylor Swift would.
Yeah, Taylor Swift. Obviously, Michael Jackson back in the day, but like,
right.
Unless it's someone on that level.
But hell, even the Michael Jackson one did only 50,000 people. No, they did it over 3 nights. They did over 3 nights. They did 3 nights in a row there and did basically an average of 50,000 people, but it only did 50,000 people. And that was near the peak of Michael Jackson's fame.
Yeah, I wonder what the cutoff is for. Like, could Sabrina Carpenter do Neyland Stadium? You know,
I don't know. Like, I know the answer. Post Malone cannot.
Yeah,
him
and Jelly Roll. I think they canceled their big show, didn't they? I saw where they weren't going to be doing their.
They canceled, I think, a month of their concerts.
Well, good. I'm glad America's wising up to the.
Bear writes in, the Beatles and Led Zeppelin played stadiums back in the day. Don't let him gaslight you with his Stones propaganda.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm talking about the stadium tour, the actual
like going on a tour full of stadiums.
Yeah, like
not just one-offs.
The Stones were the highest grossing band forever.
I mean, I think, you know, I don't think Garth would come back and do it, but like I do think whenever he wanted to, Kenny Chesney probably could, being a local guy.
Think he could still do it?
Yeah, I mean he just had the residency at the Sphere, and you know sold a whole bunch of tickets to it. You know, people go see him out in Vegas. So I think a one-off show in East Tennessee, I think he could.
But a lot of times, by the time an artist gets to doing the Sphere, doing the Vegas residency, it means they're kind of washed up.
I'm wondering if the Sphere will be the same way because yeah, you're right about the hotel residencies, but not so much the Sphere.
Well, the Eagles did it, and they're still. I mean, they're playing Vanderbilt Stadium this weekend,
right?
So
yeah,
which that's not Neyland, of course,
and that's just Kenny being a local guy too.
I think anybody with widespread appeal, like American music, there will always be a spot for like if you're big enough, you know. Because when I think of like Kenny Chesney, Garth Brooks, the Eagles, like those are just middle America acts that people love.
Yeah, but I would also like to see when the last time Clemson had a concert. Does Tiger Stadium frequently do that? Or was it like a special, like, hey, wow, we're finally having a concert here, let's pack it out? Because, you know, there's a certain aspect of just like it being rare. Like if Neyland Stadium was having concerts twice a year, I don't know if it'd feel as special because from now, it still feels kind of cool to get in there and go to a concert.
I talked to some people this weekend from Columbus, Ohio, that came down for the show, and they were telling me they thought it was pretty cool because I told them, yeah, this is actually only like the 5th act to ever play Neyland. And they thought that was cool because they said Ohio Stadium, they do them all the time.
They do them all the time, yeah.
They don't even think anything of it.
Yeah, so like I wonder if Tennessee started doing that all the time, if it would ruin the specialness of it, and you'd not sell as many tickets. What other headlines you got?
Well, UCLA picked up a running back commitment over the weekend, and you may say, who cares? Why should I care about this? Well, the interesting part of it is that he is the son of Maurice Jones-Drew, the former NFL All-Pro. This is class of 27 running back Deuce Jones-Drew.
Okay.
So it's one of those make you feel kind of old headlines, as Maurice Jones-Drew's son is now getting ready to play college football.
That one doesn't really make me feel that old. That one checks out. That one feels like Maurice Jones-Drew's been retired long enough to where he should have a kid.
2 Game 7s in the NBA last night. The Pistons took down the Magic 116-94. The Cavs beat the Raptors 114-102. So Cleveland and Detroit advance. We now have our final 8 in the NBA set.
Our final 8.
Sixers, Knicks tonight. Timberwolves, Spurs tonight. And then tomorrow you'll have the Lakers and the Thunder, and then the Cavs and Pistons. So Final 4 East teams: Sixers, Knicks, Cavs, Pistons. Final 4 in the West: Lakers, Thunder, Timberwolves, Spurs. This one I really get into the NBA. So when we narrow it down to 8 teams.
Once we're in the final 8.
Yep.
All right.
The Elite 8 of the NBA.
Any other headlines?
Yeah, there's a lot of news. But you sound ready to go.
No, I just didn't know if you had anything else.
Yeah,
I was going to talk some basketball, but if you got more, go for it.
I got a lot. I got some more Vols stuff, but we'll do that next hour.
Okay.
But longtime Yankees radio voice dies at 87. John Sterling, the radio voice of the Yankees for.
It is high. It is far. It is God. What I do wrong?
36 seasons with the Yankees. His death was announced this morning by the New York-based WFAN sports radio, confirmed by the Yankees. So he was 87. So RIP to him.
RIP to him. All right. Is that it? You good now? Is that the last one you need to get to this hour?
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
Sorsby hired an attorney. Brennan Sorsby. And that's it.
That's his only hope of playing any football, is if he gets a good lawyer that could find some type of wiggle room or just find some type of appeals that extends this long enough to get him on the field.
And Minnesota's quarterback was arrested for using a fake ID and being a minor in possession of alcohol.
I did appreciate that the other Minnesota quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, came out and gave his top 5 wide receivers and did not put Justin Jefferson on the list. He had Zay Flowers on the list. I was like, is this guy friends with Maddie? Intern Maddie? I was like, Zay Flowers? Like, the disrespect. Like, J.J. McCarthy's tired of Justin Jefferson making fun of him. So he's like, I'm not giving Justin Jefferson the satisfaction. DK Metcalf and Zay Flowers, they're both better than Justin Jefferson. Bubba, send us a break. We'll talk some basketball coming up next. Let's talk sports on Fan Run Radio.
The flagship station for Tennessee fans. This is Fan Run Radio.
White Claw is taking hard seltzer to new heights with White Claw Surge. At 8% alcohol, White Claw Surge is a stronger wave of refreshment that doesn't compromise on taste. Available in 4 bold waves of flavor like ripe blackberry, citrusy blood orange, zesty natural lime, and tart cranberry. Check out your favorite retailer in-store and online for the White Claw Surge Variety 12-pack and 16-ounce single-serve cans. White Claw Surge. Please drink responsibly.
In a world filled with deadlines and screens, sometimes we forget the simple joys of life, days filled with special moments. At Inward Half, we understand the essence of these moments. Feel the difference between our breathable fabrics and flexible apparel as you disconnect from the hustle and bustle and reconnect with what truly matters. Inward Half. Simple luxury for on and off the course.
Smoky Mountain Brewery is the place to be for game day. From the moment you walk in, it's wall-to-wall big screens, making Smoky Mountain Brewery the perfect place to watch the Vols or your favorite team in action. With locations in Turkey Creek, Maryville, Pigeon Forge, and Gatlinburg, you're never far away from a great time at Smoky Mountain Brewery. Try one of their world-famous microbrews like Black Bear Ale, Mountain Light, or Cherokee Ale. Juicy burgers, wings that bring the heat, and delicious handmade pizzas made with hand-tossed crust from the freshest ingredients and their own special sauce from a secret recipe, topped off with hand-grated cheese and farm-fresh toppings. And don't forget, those famous microbrews are also available in kegs for your next party or in 6-packs and growlers to go. So grab your crew and head to Smoky Mountain Brewery and tell them Fan Run Radio sent you. Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good.
My name is Ariel. I moved to the U.S. at 19. I spoke no English and I struggled finding job opportunities. Everything I have, I owe to the Adult Literacy Center and getting my high school diploma at age 22.
It was an honor helping you achieve your greatness. Now you're helping others achieve theirs. It inspires me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Find free and supportive adult education centers near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Vol fans, reimagine your home at Broadway Carpets and Flooring for any remodeling or building needs. With a variety of carpets, rugs, hardwood, vinyl, and stone, Broadway has all the flooring and installation options you're looking for, including pet-resistant products like Pet Perfect Carpet from Shaw Floors. Visit their showroom in downtown Knoxville or the location in West Knoxville located on Kingston Pike near Pellissippi Parkway today.
Now that all the first round series are over, what was your biggest takeaway? What was the thing you found most interesting over the weekend? Was it the Magic's collapse? Oh my God, what a collapse they had in Game 6. They scored 8 points in the fourth quarter of a game they could have won at home to win in the series. 8 points. They got outscored 31-8 in the fourth quarter.
Well, I took both the underdogs yesterday to cover 8.5. They were both 8.5 point dogs. And I thought, well, Game 7, surely these teams, it'll be close games. And they weren't.
Yeah, usually Game 7, low scoring. And you somewhat keep it close. And
yeah, the Magic, well, they did keep it close for a good bit. And then, like you said, they fell apart.
The Magic's problem was that Tobias Harris decided to have a legacy game.
He did, yeah.
That was not fun to be rooting for the Magic in that game, but it was at least somewhat nice to see Tobias Harris finally win a Game 7 and come through for a team as he went 11 of 18, 5 of 7 from 3, scored 30 points, grabbed 9 rebounds, and was the second best player on the Pistons who battled back.
VFL Tobias, maybe his best game ever.
When you consider the stakes, and I know it's just the first round, but you didn't want to be a 1 seed that lost to an 8 seed. That loss would have been really, really bad for a 60-win team like the Pistons were. Cade Cunningham was awesome the last 3 games, and Tobias Harris gave him some help. The Cavs saved themselves from embarrassment, being able to beat the Raptors at home. Jared Allen dominated that third quarter and blew that game open. On Saturday night, the Celtics complete the collapse.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest story of the NBA. The Friday and Saturday night are bigger to me. The Lakers being able to get out of the Rockets series when you kind of worried they might be set to collapse after having a 3-0 series lead, but LeBron took over. I didn't watch any of that game, but it appears to me that LeBron took over.
LeBron was the best player on the court, and he did the thing where he just dominates the game, just moving chess pieces around a board, creating shots for other people, knowing when to pick his spots. It's his field goal percentage wasn't great in that game, but it didn't need to be. They just physically dominated that team.
28 points for King James.
28 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds. I mean, like that's basically his career averages. I mean, that's what he averages. I think 27, 7, and 7, and he's doing that. At this stage in his career in the playoffs, that was a great performance. But yeah, to me, I thought the Celtics completing the 3-1 collapse with 2 of those losses being at home, I thought that was the biggest story. Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey finally maybe being in position to break through and do something. Joel Embiid has never really risen to the occasion in the playoffs for one reason or the other. Between him choking and between him getting injured, he's never played in a conference finals. So, like, that kind of felt like that might be his career highlight, beating that Celtics team.
Well, just the fact that the Sixers beat the Celtics, to me, is it's got to be great for that city, for the city of Philadelphia. Just going back over the years, as the most casual of NBA fans, many years I just see the playoff matchups. Oh, okay, Boston versus Philly. Well, the Celtics are going to win that. That's how it's been forever. I mean, unless it's 1983, right? I mean, that's every other time it's like, well, Sixers playing the Celtics. Go ahead and pencil in Boston. So, that's huge for them.
And to do it in the fashion they did it, for Philadelphia, feels good. And that sets up a pretty fun series with the Knicks, Joel Embiid versus Karl Anthony Towns. There's some history there. Those two fan bases, there's some history there. It's an easy commute to get back and forth. So we'll see which, fan base can overtake which team's arenas. The Sixers are trying to limit ticket sales to only people that live in the Philadelphia area to try to combat the Knicks.
That's about as East Coast as it gets. Philly and New York.
And we'll see. We'll have time to talk about Philadelphia and the Knicks as the series gets going. We'll see if, Maxey and Embiid can be better than Towns and Brunson. I think the problems you saw with the Knicks not being able to guard CJ McCollum for at least the first 3 games is going to be like multiplied by 100, because Tyrese Maxey is, 100 times better than CJ McCollum at this point in his career when you look at his speed and ability to get to the rim. So, like, I am interested to see how Brunson's going to be able to hold up guarding Maxey and how the Knicks in general will be able to guard him while also dealing with Embiid. But for me, the story is just about the Celtics collapse and then the odd behavior. Did you see at all Jaylen Brown yesterday?
No.
Jaylen Brown, of course, the Boston Celtics best player this season, but second best player, in the franchise behind Jason Tatum. Brown kind of struggled a bit in this playoff series, especially, once Tatum returned. He kind of had his team taken from him, and it went from like, hey, we were so good this regular season with you being our guy, you being a top 5 MVP candidate, you being a first-team All-NBA type of guy. But now Tatum's back. Time for you to kind of take a back seat. And Brown kind of struggled doing that. And then Tatum was out for Game 7, which I will give the Celtics credit for that. They ran Tatum into the ground. They did not, go slow with him coming back from his Achilles tear, and eventually his other leg just kind of gave out on him. But it seemed as if they were going to force him to play. Joe Mazzulla's like, nobody's on the injury report. Everybody's going to play. But then, like, luckily, a couple hours before the game, the Celtics kind of rethought it and said, you know what, we're not going to put our franchise player in harm's way this game. He's going to sit. So then it was back up to Jaylen Brown. And Jaylen Brown had a pretty uneven game. They lost. He was partly the reason why. He didn't make big plays down the stretch. But then yesterday, Cody, he went to Twitch. He went to Twitch.
Was he on with clavicular?
No, he was doing his own with his crew. But it was one of the strangest things I've seen an NBA player do after his team loses in the playoffs, especially as a favorite. He went to Twitch and just was there breaking down plays. And it was almost like he was having a mental breakdown in real time.
Nice. That's always fun to see.
It's almost like the pressure and everything the fans have been saying to him this playoff series has gotten to him. So basically, he just went back and rewatched the game, and at some points would be like, yeah, here's where the refs clearly have an agenda against me. And by the way, I talked to some of the refs, and they told me they have an agenda against me. It's really sick what the NBA is doing. He basically came out and was doing that, but then also said it was the most fun year he's ever had in the NBA, which people thought was interesting because it was a year where his running mate, his sidekick, was injured all year, and Jason Tatum wasn't playing. And he's like, this is my favorite year. AKA, I kind of liked having my own team. I don't really want to go back to being a sidekick. And also keep in mind, there was a year where he won finals MVP and they won an NBA championship. You would think that would be his favorite year, but nope. He's like, this one was when I got to be the man, basically. So now people are wondering if there's an imminent breakup coming in Boston as they decide to trade Jaylen Brown and try to reshape that team.
Maybe they bring Giannis in.
It's possible. It's possible. I don't know if the Bucks would want Jaylen Brown or if they'd want to completely reset and start from scratch. Maybe it'd be a 3-team type of trade. Maybe you send Jaylen Brown back somewhere like Atlanta where, he's from. I don't know if the Hawks would want him. I don't know what Jaylen Brown's trade value would be right now because he makes over $50 million. And he's, over the last couple of years been one of the worst playoff performers ever in terms of how his team performs with him on the floor versus when he's off the floor.
Well, I'll let you know my thoughts on it when I hear Rob Parker talk about it tonight.
Okay. We'll see how much time they spend on it because, we're already getting started with the second round tonight, which that's a whole nother thing. You want to talk about tradition. You want to talk about things that are getting ruined.
I want to talk about geography.
We can talk about geography in a second, but to me, it's crazy when we're looking at protecting things. This is a worthwhile cause. There are 2 NBA games tonight. 2 pretty good games. We'll see if Anthony Edwards is back tonight against the Spurs. They upgraded him to questionable, but I'd still be surprised if he played in game 1. But we got the Timberwolves and Spurs. That one to me is intriguing. And we got the 76ers Knicks, which should be great. You know what time those games start?
8 o'clock and 9:30 Eastern, according to ESPN app.
What does that stand out? What stands out there to you when you look at that?
That means they're staggered.
They're staggered.
Yeah. Which means you can't watch the full game on both.
Yeah, what the hell are we doing?
I don't know.
What the hell are we doing, Peacock?
Well, also, apparently Timberwolves Spurs is NBC Sports Network and Peacock.
Yeah.
Does everyone get NBC Sports Network?
I don't think they do.
I don't know if I get that on YouTube TV or not.
Yeah, I'm not positive about that. I get it on my cable, but I'm not sure about everybody else. But I get that you want the Knicks to be a standalone time slot and be prime time, but it is absurd to me that we are staggering these games. The playoffs, the second round, when there's only 2 games.
Well, they're doing the same thing tomorrow.
They're doing the same thing tomorrow?
Yeah. 7 o'clock and 8:30.
Is that the NBA just kind of acknowledging hey, we know the first quarter doesn't really matter? Well, if a run, or is that just hey, Oklahoma City and San Antonio's in the West, but we can't really make them play at 10 o'clock because that's too late in the Central Time?
Perhaps it's, trying to keep as much of the audience as possible because last week we were complaining, or I was anyway, about the late start times the last couple of weeks.
Sure.
Those games not starting until 10:30 Eastern time. That's hard to stay awake for if you're on the East Coast.
I just don't think that they will change that when it's on the West Coast. I don't think they're going to make the Lakers play at 9:30.
Right.
They'll put the Lakers on at 10:30 or 10 o'clock and let them have,
they got the Lakers playing at 5:30 LA time.
Well, yeah,
but that's in Oklahoma City.
Yeah. I mean, when it's in LA.
Yeah.
So I think we'll go back to our late start times. It's just they don't want the Oklahoma City or San Antonio to have to stay up too late. It's very odd.
So that game starts at, what would that be? That would be, 7:30 Central Time. So
Luka, if you're on Luka watch, he doesn't seem to be too close to returning.
Can we talk about the geography now?
Okay, yeah, go to the geography.
I'm looking at the NBA playoffs.
Okay.
And I'm fascinated by the East versus the West. You talked about how Sixers Knicks is such a close commute. It's like an hour and a half. It's the same with Detroit and Cleveland tomorrow. Like I don't know the exact distance from Detroit to Cleveland, but it's wraps right around the lake there on I-90. I imagine that's less than 3 hours, probably 2.5 hours. And then you look at Lakers Thunder, which is literally a 2-day drive, and then Timberwolves Spurs, the very north part of the country to the very south, to the southwest. Like it's so different in the East versus the West. It shows you how great the American West expansion is, compared to all the population being close on the East Coast.
It is very strange.
Yeah. Well, that's all I wanted to say.
Oh, that's all you want to say about geography?
So Luka Doncic, he's
it doesn't appear that Luka's going to be back early in that series, which is kind of crazy because they said whenever he got hurt, they made a big deal of pointing out that he was, going over to Europe and going to get all this treatment that was going to help him get back early. But now we're looking at, 5 weeks since he got injured.
Well, I saw that
they're going to have to evaluate him in a week, so he's going to miss at least 2 games here.
I saw that was it Brian the Winded Horse. He was saying that he's not close in terms of being back.
Yeah, like I don't think he's going to get back, and this for as good as LeBron and the Lakers played against that that underachieving Rockets team, I don't think they're going to have anything for the Thunder, and they probably wouldn't have anything for the Thunder even if Luka was playing. Maybe a completely healthy at the top of his powers, Luka would be able to win a couple games in this series, but I imagine the Lakers are going to get killed their first 2 games and that we don't see Luka at all. It's kind of how I view the series going, which kind of sucks.
I'm kind of hoping LeBron will put the team on his back again.
It's one thing to do that against Amen Thompson and a hobbled Kevin Durant who's not really, clutch in the playoffs. It's another thing to ask him to do it against the really, really good Oklahoma City Thunder who have like a historically good, point differential this year. Net rating. They're up there with the all-time greats. They're an all-time great team.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason the Thunder are 15.5-point favorites in this game 1.
Is it really that big?
Yeah. Like I'm not saying the Thunder are going to blow the Lakers out in every game, but like I don't have much confidence that the Lakers even win. They might get 1. If I was betting on it, I'd say Thunder in 5. I just hope on the other side that Anthony Edwards, gets healthy and is able to come back and play, because I think that Timberwolves Spurs series could be really fun if he's able to play. I'm not sure how fun it'll be if he doesn't.
They beat the Suns by 9, 12, 13, and whatever 119 minus 84 is.
Yeah.
So 3 of those games were sort of close.
Yeah.
Like 9, 12, and 13. And then the other one was almost a 40-point beatdown. 35, I think, is the math on that.
And they are missing their second best player. Jalen Williams is hurt. We'll see, whenever he's able to return. So maybe the Lakers could do better. The difference I have there is that I feel like the Thunder are probably bored with the Suns.
They'll get up for LeBron.
They'll get up for LeBron and the Lakers, yeah. But we'll see. They are without their second best player, so maybe there's room for some heroics there. But like I said, a 15.5-point spread on the first game is kind of indicative of that.
Doesn't sound like a very fun series.
No. There's your basketball update. We'll see how these game 1 shake out tonight. I'm very intrigued on how much more of a meltdown we get from Jaylen Brown, though. I'm very interested in that. That was so odd yesterday watching him get on there and stream after having his season ended, and then some of the stuff he was saying.
Would have been more odd if he had gone on with clavicular.
That would have.
I think I'm going to name my sons. If I have 2 sons, I'm going to name them Clavicular and Grok. That's what I'm going to name my boys.
Okay, ladies, if you're interested in making love to Cody and giving him a baby, please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And
I'd have to find me one of those gals like Elon Musk had in order to name them something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't have the billions that Elon has.
I was going to say that might be the problem. Yeah.
No, I don't have billions, but I I am making the rent consistently.
Let's go.
Which is more than some men can say.
That's true.
You can go to Asia.
Asia?
And he's got waterfront property.
Asia?
Ladies?
Asia has waterfront property?
He's got a new couch and everything.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. You can break that thing in. Don't even have legs on it yet. Can you sit a couch on the floor? Because I'm debating on whether to even put the legs on it. I guess I probably need to put the legs on it.
What do you mean by legs?
You know, the legs on a couch, the little...
The small little knobs?
Yeah, the knobs on the bottom. Right now, I just got it sitting on the floor.
Why haven't you put them on there?
I just hadn't done it yet.
Have you been sitting on the couch?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it provides... The legs probably provide more support. I guess it'd probably be more comfortable with the legs on it than just sitting right on the floor. I don't know.
Just be taller.
Yeah. It'd create some space for stuff to go under the couch.
Yeah.
Lose things. You know.
I guess that's a fair question. It seemed dumb at first, but
I think you're supposed to put the legs on.
But I mean, like some people don't put their beds on frames and just sleep with the box spring and the mattress on the floor.
Yeah, that's crazy too.
I did that in college to help my wiener dog get up and down. That way he wouldn't have to jump so high.
How's he doing? Speaking of Frank,
he's doing all right.
The chat wants to know.
Frank's okay. He's holding up. He's an old man, but he's so far so okay. He's holding up. If you get any updates, it'll be bad updates.
Okay.
So
I think the people appreciate a good update.
Yeah.
So far so okay.
So far so okay.
Okay.
He's an old man. He's about to turn 17.
Yeah. He's been around a long, long while.
He has. Bubba, send us a break. I guess we'll dive into some Tennessee baseball. We haven't talked it yet. I don't really want to, but we will. Stick with us.
Can't get enough Fan Run Radio? Download the free Fan Run app and take the best Tennessee sports conversations with you wherever you go.
Blackford Veterinary Surgery Referral specializes in surgeries not regularly performed by your pet's general veterinarian. They're currently accepting referrals from vets all across the country. With their newly renovated state-of-the-art surgery center and highly trained staff, clients can rely on professional and thorough care. If your vet says that your pet needs surgery or rehab, ask for a referral to Blackford Vet and let them get your best friend back on its feet. Located conveniently in West Knoxville. For more information, visit blackfordvetsurgery.com.
Hey Knoxville! Surfside iced tea and vodka, made with real brewed tea, is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, with no bubbles and no troubles. That's right, zero carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. Headed to a game day or party at a friend's house? Bring an iced tea or lemonade variety pack from Surfside, or try their green tea and new raspberry tea vodka. Find the can with the sunset stripes this season. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sunshine in a can. Must be 21 or older. Enjoy responsibly.
Is your yard starting to look more wild than welcoming? Yeah, don't let your landscape be that house on the block. At ECR Total Landscapes, we make sure your outdoor space is something you're proud of. From de-weeding flower beds to leaf blowing, trimming, mulching, and more, completely customizable to your property's specific needs. We'll handle it all. Why spend your weekends sweating it out in the yard when you can just sit back and enjoy it? That's the ECR difference. And right now, new customers can get 10% off your first month of our monthly maintenance package when you sign up for a full calendar year. That's right. Consistent, reliable service at a price that makes it easy to get started. No sweat, no hassle, just a better looking lawn week after week. Call ECR Total Landscapes today and mention promo code FANRUN to save 10% on your first month. Call 865-384-2012 or visit us online at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Welcome to Axle Logistics, where excellence isn't just a goal, it's an energy. As a leading third-party logistics company, Axle is powered by an award-winning culture built on a work hard, play hard mentality. Here, the drive for success is contagious and hard work never goes unnoticed. Whether you're just starting out or looking to level up, Axle Logistics is the place to launch your career. Join us and take your ambition to the stars. To learn more, visit axlelogistics.com.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Fan Run Radio, the flagship station for Tennessee fans.
This ain't no wishy-washy, limp-wristed, kale-eating, half-ass sports radio station.
We're your in-your-face, truth-telling, say it loud, flag-waving, face-painting, hardcore, bring the noise, causing a ruckus, don't give a damn sports station.
Sports talk that doesn't just hang up and listen.
For the fans. This is Fan Run Radio.
Get some.
Sure in college baseball who the good bracketologists are, quite frankly, because I haven't had to worry about it too much lately in my life. We've always kind of firmly been in the tournament and either right there in the top 8 or top 16 or right on the outside. But this bracketology I'm looking at today that comes from Micah Butol. He has your.
How do you spell that last name?
Beutell. How would you say it?
How'd you say it?
Butol. Butel. How would you say it?
I don't want to be crass.
Oh, okay.
I was just saying, if you pronounce something Butol, you could pronounce it like. Carry on. I'm just being immature.
I don't even get that.
Butol.
Oh, like okay.
I'm just being immature.
Oh, okay. I get it now. Yeah. He has Tennessee as on the outside looking in the first 4 out. So to me that means Tennessee is right there, kind of on the cutoff of everybody's bracketology. I'll see if I can find other people's.
Well, I don't think we should be in. Hell, we ain't no good. I don't know. Do I agree with that? Do I believe that we shouldn't be in? Last year, it seems like we didn't win a series all year, and we're still firmly in. I mean, we've at least won a couple series. We beat Missouri, beat Alabama, swept Mississippi State. I mean, I think we should be in.
Yeah.
And like the series we've lost lately, Ole Miss and Kentucky, we've at least won a game. Like
that Kentucky one's bad though.
Yeah, well that LSU's bad too.
Yeah, LSU and Kentucky, both of those are bad, but at least like LSU has some damn brand power, and you could say that Tennessee wasn't playing well when they played LSU. Like the Kentucky one to me is really disappointing because you did have that Friday performance against Alabama where you kicked their ass in that doubleheader, and you hoped that maybe that was going to turn things around.
Who knows if you would have won that series if it was 3 days of baseball, though?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? But like we had talked about moving Tegan Kuhns around. It seemed as if he had settled into a pretty good spot there, being your second pitcher. You moved him up in the rotation. You put him back on Friday night, opening up the series, and he got rocked against Kentucky. And that was really the story of game 1 for me. Was Tegan Kuhns, went back to not being that ace you had hoped he would be.
Yeah, and you just got worked those first 2 games of the series.
You got run-rolled the second game.
I don't know about you, but I can't watch the 3rd game when that happens.
I feel the same way.
I have absolutely no interest in picking up a win.
Yep, there needs to be some stakes to win the series. I agree with that.
I mean, it's good to not get swept.
It's funny because I remember in 2010, 2011, somewhere around that time, really like that was the only game you could pay attention to.
The Sunday game.
Yeah, Tennessee would throw their only good pitcher or their best pitcher on Sunday.
That's pitiful.
Hoping to just like rack up enough Sunday wins against the other team's worst starter. That way they could make the SEC tournament. Not even the NCAA tournament, just the SEC tournament. You would hope to win some of those.
Was that the Serrano days, or was that before Serrano? Who did you have between Delmonico and were there a couple other losers in there? Because I know Rod Delmonico had some great teams. And then I know Serrano was not – he never did anything real good, but he was here for a while. It seemed like.
You're talking about Todd Raleigh.
Todd Raleigh, that's the other name.
Yeah. Todd Raleigh was the guy that was here during my college years. So like from 08 to 11, Raleigh was here, and he went under 500, and in conference was terrible. And then you went out and hired Dave Serrano, who had the resume. You thought you were making a big home run hire, and then he was somehow even worse. At least in conference. I'm looking up their win percentages. Rod Delmonico over 18 seasons. It's his overall record was 699 and 396. That's good.
He's a great coach.
That's good for 64%. Now in the SEC, it was 50.8%, which is a winning record. So you take that for sure.
But he had some big years. Had some World Series teams,
and finishing over 500 in the SEC is a big accomplishment.
Yeah.
But then Todd Raleigh, he won the 35% of his conference games, 42 and 78.
Now he's the father of Cal Raleigh, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And then Dave Serrano, he was 55 and 120 in the SEC, which is good for 31%. Tony Vitello, 125 and 85 in conference.
Dave Serrano's son used to listen to the show. So be careful slandering him.
I'm not slandering him. Zach's my boy.
Oh, you know him?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I see him out. We talk movies and stuff.
Well, if he's listening today, I wonder if he expected that.
He was good friends with our boy Ben Lee. Shout out to Ben Lee.
Yeah, R.I.P. to him.
Elander in his first year, 11 and 13 in the SEC. Quite frankly, not good enough. Not good enough. It feels like it would be a near disaster to miss the tournament in your first year. Although then you maybe could take what happened at Texas A&M and feel okay about it.
Not really, because didn't they get it going second half of the season
last year?
Yeah.
They definitely played better
because they beat us, right? Like after they beat us, they kind of got it together.
Yeah, it still didn't go great for them in terms of their season. Like they still missed the tournament, right?
Did they?
I believe so.
I don't remember exactly what happened, but weren't they preseason number 1?
Yeah, they were.
Like so the collapse for them was bigger. Like nobody expected us to be the best team in the country this year, but we were. Some people had us rated pretty high.
But they have bounced back in year 2. They had a similar situation where their coach left. They promoted a guy that had never been a manager. Year 1 was disappointing, but year 2, they're back to being a top 10 team in the country now. They're 35 and 10.
Well, I guess that's important to keep in mind with Elander. Because, he is a first-year coach, and, like, typically a first-year guy gets some grace. Now, I don't know how baseball works in comparison to other sports, if it's easier to carry over from the success you had. I don't know exactly how that works. I just know, like, in football, like, normally you give some grace year 1.
I don't feel like you give guys a lot of grace, though, whenever they are not new to the program. Like some, yes, but like this isn't like he came in as doing something completely new and like had to bring in new players and had to learn new things and yada yada yada. Like
there shouldn't have been a big overhaul.
Yeah, a big part of the reason people wanted to hire Josh Elander was because of the hope that it would be a smooth transition and that you wouldn't dip too much.
Well, that's what everybody wanted. I mean, you could have brought in that guy from Coastal Carolina.
Tegan Coons gave up 10 hits in 6 innings, gave up 6 runs. I don't really understand how this Kentucky team, continued the tradition of Kentucky kind of bothering Tennessee. I get it when you look at just like the base running of the past years, right? Where, guys would just get on base and just run because Frank Anderson and Vitello weren't really focused on holding runners on, and they would just have a kind of a free-for-all on the bases. But like when you look at the game one, like they only stole 2 bases and still kind of just beat up your pitching.
Well, that's what that guy I heard last week on the radio was saying, is that they're a little bit different than the Kentucky teams of the past.
Yeah.
That they just find ways to beat you in other ways. But it's a little bit disappointing, too, the fact that Kentucky got off the schneid, right?
Yeah.
Because that's a team that hadn't won a series since when? I mean,
since they had swept Alabama to open up SEC play.
They've been losing 2-1 every weekend.
Yeah.
And then you let them get off the schneid.
Yeah.
Beat you.
And only, 1 stolen base in the Saturday game. So, they didn't just run you to death this time. It's just you couldn't do anything.
Yeah. Well, they score runs, and we don't.
And now you look and, Texas is coming to town.
Yeah. One of the top teams in America, right?
I believe
they got 2 chances.
At least on D1 baseball, I think they're number 4 in the country.
What'd you say, Bubba?
Only 2 games happening.
Why is that?
For some reason, not seeing what happened next Saturday.
Wait, what, Bubba?
I think it's Friday and Sunday. I don't think anything's happening Saturday for the baseball, which I don't know why, but
it usually doesn't. Huh. That doesn't seem like it'd be right. I would think there'd be 3 games.
No, yeah, they're going to play 3 games. I don't know what Bubba's missing or what he's seeing, but no, I mean, it's going to be a Friday, Saturday, Sunday series. Now, whether or not I don't think there's a big projection for bad weather.
Unless maybe Bubba's trying to say just that Sunday won't matter.
I don't think they've moved anything yet.
No, my guys are getting it wrong. I was using pair ratings and Warren Nolan to look at some RPI and projections.
Okay.
But they only had 2 games listed for us.
Yeah, no, we're gonna play them 3 times, and then we're gonna go to Oklahoma and play them. Now, look, the glass half full of it is, Texas is the number 4 team in the country. If you win a couple games from them, that goes a really, really long way. Oklahoma's number 24 in the country. If you go on the road and you take some games from Oklahoma, that'll go a long way because Tennessee needs some RPI help. Right now, Tennessee's 34th in RPI. Texas is number 3. Oklahoma is number 19. So you're going to have 6 opportunities against top-ranked teams.
Is the number still 13, or do you think you're going to need 14?
In terms of SEC wins?
Because you said right now we're, 11 and 13?
Yep.
Yeah. So are you going to have to win one of these series?
It feels kind of weird to say that you only need 1 win against each team to get into the tournament. If I'm telling you right now that you're already kind of right there smack dab on the bubble.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
Maybe on the outside looking in.
Well, everybody's been saying you just need 13, though, so I don't.
Well, I think they're saying 13 gives you a chance.
13 or 14?
Yeah, 13 gives you a chance. 14 gets you in, I think, is what people have kind of been saying.
I see.
You're not really getting in with only 12, so you need to get to at least 13 because there is some precedent for that.
But really, you'd like to have 14.
Yeah, but really 14 is whenever you feel comfortable.
Hell, why don't we just go out there and sweep Texas? That'd be good. That'd get you in.
That would be great for the vibes. That was the frustrating part about Kentucky. That series is if you had just won 2 out of 3 games against Kentucky, you'd have been in pretty good shape.
I say you go sweep Texas and then just rest everybody that Oklahoma series. Don't worry about it. 3-3.
I mean, I feel like that'd be dumb to rest them, but
yeah, I'm just talking.
Yeah,
I'm just over here talking.
Bad weekend, just all around. Tennessee's bats didn't really provide anything. The pitching didn't provide anything. At least you're able to salvage it Sunday and survive. And you really had to survive because I think if that game would have gone a couple more innings, you would have lost because your pitching your bullpen did what they do, and that is give up runs. And Kentucky scored 8 runs over the final 3 innings on Sunday's game, but at least Tennessee was able to score 5 for a 1-run win.
David says Tony Vitello's first year was 12-18 in the SEC.
Yeah, it was. And David, I appreciate that approach. I appreciate that line of thinking, but like obviously we know that the situation was a little bit different, right? In terms of what Tennessee had built when Tony Vitello took over in year one versus what Tennessee had built in Josh Elander's year one.
Mm-hmm.
Not every year one is created equal. That's like saying, oh, well, Pat Summitt only won like 14 games her first year. You shouldn't be so hard on Kim Caldwell or Kelly Jolly Hopper. I don't know how many games Pat Summitt won her first game, but she created the program.
Probably like 33.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Yeah.
No, when she started coaching, they didn't even play that many games.
Right.
Probably.
Let's see. Her first year, they went 22-10.
Yeah. Yeah, she hit the ground running.
Bubba, send us a break. Hour 2 in the books. We'll kick off hour 3 of some headlines.
Check out our new and improved website at fanrunradio.com.
Are you thinking of buying a home but don't know where to start? Well, call VFL Josh Travis, your local mortgage expert with Foundation Mortgage, based right here in Knoxville. Whether it's your first home or your forever home, he'll keep the process simple every step of the way. To get started, visit mortgagebrokerjosh.com or call 423-312-9777 today. Foundation Mortgage Company, LLC is an equal opportunity housing company. NMLS number 1387311.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm going to hop online and I'm going to get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
Planning for spring at Lowe's means big savings on outdoor power equipment, and Lowe's knows nothing feels better than free. Buy one select Ego string trimmer, leaf blower, or mower kit. Get one select 56-volt battery free. That's up to a $299 value. Power through spring with Ego, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 4/3 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Smoky Mountain Brewery is the place to be for game day. From the moment you walk in, it's wall-to-wall big screens, making Smoky Mountain Brewery the perfect place to watch the Vols or your favorite team in action. With locations in Turkey Creek, Maryville, Pigeon Forge, and Gatlinburg, you're never far away from a great time at Smoky Mountain Brewery. Try one of their world-famous microbrews like Black Bear Ale, Mountain Light, or Cherokee Ale. Juicy burgers, wings that bring the heat, and delicious handmade pizzas made with hand-tossed crust from the freshest ingredients and their own special sauce from a secret recipe, topped off with hand-grated cheese and farm-fresh toppings. And don't forget, those famous microbrews are also available in kegs for your next party or in 6-packs and growlers to go. So grab your crew and head to Smoky Mountain Brewery and tell them Fan Run Radio sent you. Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good.
Running a business, coaching a team, planning your next big event, you need more than just gear. You need SM Athletics and Logo Solutions. Custom uniforms, branded apparel, promotional products, done right, done fast, and built to show off your brand with pride. From local businesses to high schools to major universities, SM Athletics is trusted by winners. Get real service, get real quality, get noticed. SM Athletics and Logo Solutions, where your brand comes to life.
Visit smathletics.com and let's build something great together.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Talk Sports. Talk Sports. Talk Sports.
Talk Sports. Talk Sports from 7 to 10. Overrated, underrated on Wednesday. Fan Run Radio, Talk Sports said, not in my house, I ain't talking to Kim, babe. Johnny Cody out here asking where the ops at. Tennessee Volunteers here for combat. It's the Cherokee Ghost, John Reed and Cody doing everything we can to bring Rocky Top back. Talk Sports from 7 to 10. Never leave a witness, never leave loose ends. Nico ain't nothing but a nuisance. 2026, we make a new friend here.
Talk Sports.
3 kicking off here
Talk
in the
Sports.
White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios. Great job by you, Bubba. Doing all this by yourself. MVP. MVP. MVP.
Over there looking like Woody. That shirt. Oh, he needs a cowboy hat.
Even got the bald spot to match.
You got a friend in me.
I'm going to come over there and pull your string.
Your boots ain't going to be the only place there's a snake, brother. The Orlando Magic have officially fired their head coach, Jamal Mosley. After 5 seasons and, 4 straight years in the playoffs, they're out.
They done went and canned him, did they?
They got rid of him.
Well.
All right, let's hit some headlines. What you got for us?
He'll find a job somewhere. Thank you, John. I got a lot of faith in Jamal Mosley finding a job somewhere. Well, Fernando Mendoza's been working under center in rookie camp for the Raiders, it says. They got him right up there under the center's ass taking snaps because he doesn't have a lot of experience working under center.
Sure.
So they got to get him going. The Colts declined Richardson's option. Sad to hear that, Bubba. Colts declined.
No, I mean, hopefully we can, get rid of him.
How about this? The 2026 recruiting final class rankings. Arkansas #1 over Duke and Kansas. We'll see how they're able to put that together with the high school talent. Speaking of Duke, I saw where Amazon is going to air 3 Duke games in a landmark deal.
Yeah, this seems bad for the rest of the country.
I don't like it. Amazon will televise 3 marquee Duke basketball games as part of a landmark deal when they face UConn in Las Vegas, November 25th. Viva Las Vegas. Reigning champion Michigan at Madison Square Garden, December 21st. Now you're in New York. And Gonzaga on February 20th in Detroit, Rock City.
The Big Ten is trying to block the Michigan game, saying that Duke doesn't own that game.
Oh.
Saying that the ACC and Duke don't get to shop that game. So, like saying, hold on, slow your horses down, brother.
Also, this is old news, but I forgot to report it last week. Did you see where the 7'9" Florida player Olivia Ryu, the tallest player in basketball history, has moved on to UC Irvine?
Yeah, he didn't land in a good spot. Although
he's 8 feet tall.
I maintain that's what those players should do, man. If you're one of those players, if you're any type of fringe player, you have a chance of making more money if you go somewhere small and show that you can ball. And then the transfer portal, just hop in with some good tape and some good highlights versus sitting on the bench and never really getting to play.
Dude, 7'9".
He should be able to dominate at UC Irvine.
How would you feel? Like, I just want to – I would like to be in his body one day.
Just one day,
Like, just trade bodies for a day.
Yeah.
And just walk around and, like –
What would you do?
I would sit on the couch and spin the ceiling fan with my finger.
Yeah.
I would do that. Like, that would be fun. I would poke Bubba in the eye from here. Sitting here, I would poke Bubba's eyes from here. 7'9" is too tall.
Yeah.
It's simply too tall.
I agree.
I'd like to just walk around, though. Just like look at people looking at me. I would go up to like a 6'2" dude and just pat him on the head.
Oh, what's up, little bro?
Yeah.
Then they beat you up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because you won't be able to fight it.
They couldn't beat me up. They wouldn't be able to reach me.
They hit you in the gut.
They couldn't reach it.
They hit you in the you know what.
My arms are 9 feet long.
Yeah, but think about where your private parts would be. There's a punching bag. There's a little speed bag. They put you down easily there. Step on your toes. Hit you in those big old knees.
Iowa State gave TJ Otzelberger a 10-year extension and a raise.
Imagine you at 7'9", though.
Like at this weight?
Yeah,
I would be a healthy weight.
Proportionately, though.
I would actually be at a healthy weight.
Proportionally, though. Like, imagine if you were that same size percentage-wise at
but
7'9".
also really fat.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be a crazy looking guy.
It'd be like a modern-day giant.
Yeah, essentially.
You'd be terrifying. How tall was Andre the Giant, really?
Like 7'4".
Like he really was?
I think so. I don't know exactly, but I think that's about what he grew to. He kept growing. You know, he had a real disorder there.
7'4", yeah.
That documentary on him is great.
But but that's his like wrestling height.
It's not his real height?
No, his wrestling height. Let's see here.
Pretty sure it was his.
Let's see, 7'2".
Because he had a disorder.
No, his whole body grew and all that. Here he is next to Wilt Chamberlain, and Chamberlain's taller than him.
What year is that? You telling me that they bamboozled me on Andre the Giant, that he actually wasn't even taller than Wilt Chamberlain?
I think so. I think he was 7 foot, 7'1".
I'll be damned. Vince McMahon does it again.
He did it again.
Inside the NBA on ESPN last night had Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel on the Gone Fishing graphic for the Boston Celtics.
I had a dream about Diana Rossini.
I bet you did.
I did after that.
Yeah, I bet you did.
That me and her were really close. Really close. We were friends.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, how close?
Real close.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like close enough for her to come to your house?
We were out and about, but we were talking
out on the town.
We were talking about her new job and everything, and it was very weird.
You said, I got a job for you.
It was very weird. It was strange.
Were you in Sedona?
No, I don't know where we were. I think we were in the back of a van.
Oh, back of a van.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah. Anybody else back there?
No,
just Diana?
It was just me and her. And let me just say, the soundtrack to the scene was Dirty Diana.
Yeah, get you some of that, huh? Bob Baskerville says today is that day, implying perhaps a Juke Harris commitment. Bob's been sending out GIFs. Yesterday he said tomorrow, we're only a day away. Today he says today is that day. His buddy Chris Lowe caught up with Rick Barnes recently and said that he is certainly projecting a commitment from Juke Harris. Chris Lowe says, I expect him to make it official for the Vols very soon.
Does it count as a miss for Chris Lowe that he was willing to come out last week and say it was going to happen last week?
I don't know.
Because we started the show talking about that. Like it's done. So like I don't think Chris Lowe was wrong. Like I do think everyone's kind of pointed to it and said like, hey, Juke Harris is going to be a Vol, but like he did kind of say that it was going to be public last week.
I would also like to go ahead and report personally that Juke Harris will commit to Tennessee.
Yeah.
I want to let everybody know that I believe it's going to happen based on what I've read and heard.
Okay.
Rick Barnes says we want to be more lethal. And we set out knowing that when he went into the portal. We want to be lethal. I like that, Rick.
Well, It's funny. College basketball is a little bit different, of course, but like it is kind of crazy that defense has been winning the day in the NBA playoffs, and the 3-point shooting teams have been the ones going home. It's been kind of strange to see that. Like, now I know lethal doesn't always just equal 3-point shooting. It doesn't seem like Tennessee's just getting 3-point shooters, right? They're just getting scores. But like, it is interesting to me to see in the NBA. Basically, it's like, hey, you got to be able to play defense now. 3-point shooting, none of the teams in the top 10 in 3-point attempts this season made it to the second round. And I think that's kind of crazy.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that they've countered to what the league was becoming.
Yeah, like everyone's worried there's going to be nothing but 3-point jacking, and it was in the regular season, but in the playoffs it hasn't really been that way.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of talented 7-footers out there, and speaking of talented 7-footers, how about Tennessee hosting one over the weekend? Favor eBay from Nigeria. Now, this is the kind of guy I want. This is the guy I want on the team. 7'1" Nigerian.
Okay.
Sign me up. Tennessee hosted him over the weekend on a visit, according to Grant Ramey. Favor eBay. 7'1". That's a guy that could knock a roofer right off the.
So that would just be a guy that we're going to bring here and basically have as our depth.
Well, I don't know. I'd like to bring him here and hope he's going to play and be awesome. Be my hope. 3 VFLs received invites to the NBA Combine. Nate Ament, no surprise, Jacoby Gillespie, and Felix Akpara all received invites to the Combine and the NBA. Also, Tennessee football news. Or potentially football news. There's a video going around on the internet of a certain quarterback throwing the ball around. A certain quarterback with a certain last name. He's getting older by the day. Marshall Manning. Does that do anything for you?
Now that he's getting a little bit older, yes. It didn't, the last couple of years, but now that he's old enough to where you can actually see his body filling out and some zip on the passes and his daddy's big forehead. Now that you can kind of see that, like I saw in Indianapolis Colts, I don't know if it was a reporter or what, but quote tweeted the video. It's just like, oh my God, this looks just like young Peyton Manning. Like, look at the mechanics, the footwork, and everything. This is like watching, a time machine, basically.
Right.
Hopping in a time machine to go.
That's what we're all hoping for.
Yeah, so like whenever I saw like actual like football people saying stuff like that actually did get me pretty fired up. Because you would think that like he is going to be like a highly ranked guy, right? Like you would think he's actually going to be very successful. He's going to get the size. He's going to have the coaching.
I mean, if Arch can get all the praise he's gotten being Cooper's boy,
yeah,
you got to think Peyton's boy is going to have even more.
And like, Peyton was what? 6'6", 6'5",
6'6".
He doesn't even have to get all of his daddy's size. You know what I mean? Like he has got to really be a quarterback in today's game. He just get me to 6'2", 6'3" at least to feel like you have a shot. Obviously, if you can be in that 6'3" to 6'6" range, you're in good shape. You don't want to be much taller than that. We ain't really had any quarterbacks be good that are much taller than that.
Well, if your daddy's 6'6", you're going to be at least 6'2", 6'3", I'd imagine.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So like he should have the size. He's going to have the coaching. The bloodline has never really put out any duds. You know what I mean? Like,
well, Cooper
played D1 football.
Yeah, but he got hurt.
Right, but he played D1 football. I mean, he wasn't a dud by any means. Now he didn't have like he didn't have a long NFL career, but I mean, like he was a D1 athlete.
Well,
what? He was a D1 athlete.
A dud may not be the.
I'm not saying that a player. I'm not saying that a player will not get injured in his career, but like he played in the SEC. right?
Cooper?
Yeah, didn't he play at Ole Miss? Am I wrong on that? Did he not,
I don't.
I guess he never made it to college. Did he never make it to college?
He just played high school ball. Didn't
Okay,
he?
maybe not.
I mean, I started to second guess it, but you
for some reason
you
I
were
thought
very confidently saying he was a D1 athlete.
For some reason, I thought he had made it to.
I thought that documentary I watched on the Mannings, he hurt his back in high school.
high
or
school?
something, wasn't it?
Okay.
Because he was a receiver.
Yeah.
And
he ended up committing to University of Ole Miss. When practices started in the summer before school, he felt some numbness in his fingers and toes. So, okay, he committed to Ole Miss.
So he was going to be a D1 athlete.
Okay. Now, whether or not that was, he was a highly ranked prospect coming out of high school and committed to Ole Miss, according to his
Does
Wikipedia.
that really mean he's a D1 athlete, or is he just Archie's boy? You know what I mean?
Right. I was going to say, I don't even know if he was, getting a walk-on or whatever. But I thought I remember from the documentary.
Well, you said it so confidently.
Well, I remember them saying he was going to Ole Miss to play football. I thought he had actually got there and played some, but I guess not. But
I was hesitant to correct you, but I thought he got hurt in high school, didn't he? Like his senior year?
I don't know if he got hurt or if the injury happened, because his Wikipedia says that he was highly ranked coming out of high school and committed to Ole Miss. When practices started in the summer, that's when he started feeling numbness in his fingers and toes, and that's when he got his spinal stenosis diagnosis. So I don't know if he got hurt in high school or not.
Well,
I just know that Peyton was throwing the ball to him in high school.
And he's got his son is highly touted.
Sure.
Arch. So you got to think Marshall's going to be. Now, does Marshall, he's got to come to Tennessee, right?
You would think so.
He's got to. If he doesn't, we got major, major problems.
You would think so.
As much as Peyton has done for the university and all the coming back for games and all, he's out there shotgunning beers at Luke Combs. I mean,
A&M.
He's got to send his boy to Tennessee. That's got to be the final Peyton legacy push, right?
I think Peyton should be a supportive father that wants his boy to go wherever he needs to go.
Look, it's one thing for
Like
Jason
Texas
Witten.
A&M.
It's one thing for Jason Witten, that traitor, to go to Oklahoma and take his boy with him to Oklahoma. Damn traitors. But Peyton Manning, Marshall's got to be a Vol. He just has to be.
I mean, if Heupel's still the coach, at that time, you ain't going to play him. He'll play the other quarterback.
There'd be a lot of pressure, wouldn't there, to play Marshall? Well, we'll see how it progresses here in 2 to 5 years. Carter Jamison.
So before you move on,
he's going to be a Vol.
Before you move on,
3-star DB. I don't have anything else to say.
You would think less of Peyton Manning if his son didn't come to school here?
Yes.
Is that fair?
Yes. It's Peyton Manning.
But what
and
if
his boy.
But what if his boy doesn't want to?
This ain't Cooper and Kevin Mays. This ain't Jason and Cooper Witten. This is Peyton Manning and his boy.
Yeah, but I think I'd think less of Peyton Manning if he told his son, "Hey, either you have to do this. You don't get to go to college where you want. You got to go do what I say, and you're going to college at the University of Tennessee."
I'm not saying it's got to be put like that, but I got to think the boy, if he's raised right, wants to be at Tennessee. Like there shouldn't be a choice if he's raised right.
Now you say raised right, and what I would say is that Peyton's put in the effort to at least bring him to games, right? Like Peyton's been at places with him, and like he brings him to Tennessee events.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, he's done his job. Obviously his son would know how much the University of Tennessee means to him. But like to me, that's Peyton's only job. Like Jason Witten, if you're Jason Witten's boy, you might not know how much Jason Witten cares about Tennessee because he doesn't really come back around too often.
Well, and that's Jason Witten, and that's why I call him a traitor.
Well, right, but Peyton Manning, I think, has done his job in terms of showing his boy how much he cares about the University of Tennessee. Hell, he's up there shotgunning beers with Luke Combs. I mean, what else can he do?
That's what I'm saying. Peyton Manning's son cannot go elsewhere. It just it's not in the cards.
But he can.
But he can't. He can't.
I think at this point, I feel like Peyton's done his job. And now
look at that figurine right there.
I'm looking at it.
Look at that figurine.
I'm looking at it.
In the room.
Yeah.
What's it say on it? It says Peyton Manning.
It says Peyton Manning.
With a power T beside it, wearing Tennessee orange.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Peyton Manning. Like, the guy has to – I don't think he can go elsewhere.
I'm just saying, I feel like he's done his job. And now it's up to his boy to make up his mind. Obviously, Heupel's going to recruit him hard, or whoever the head coach is. Like, is going to recruit him hard.
Where could he go that you would feel comfortable with? Sending Marshall Manning to any other school? Because you know damn well he's going to play in the SEC.
Yeah.
You know damn well of that.
Yeah.
They've all played in the SEC.
Yeah.
It ain't like he ain't going to USC, he ain't going to Michigan, Ohio State, none of that. So you can narrow it down to 16 schools. Where could he go that you would feel comfortable with? Kiffin? You going to go to LSU and play for Kiffin?
That's where he's going to go.
Now, I feel like in that situation, Peyton would say, absolutely not. We're not doing that.
I think he's got to say that to any SEC school.
No, I think if he's like, hey, I want to go play at Ole Miss where Granddaddy played, I don't think he gets to say no to that.
Ole Miss.
Look, I'm just saying.
Really, Marshall?
I'm just saying if he said, hey, I'm going to go play where Papaw played, I don't think he gets to necessarily act like that's the worst thing ever because, you know, his family, the family legacy is there.
Where did he grow up?
Probably in Indianapolis. Hell, he might want to go play for Kurt Signetti.
Well, he's coming to school.
He's going
Baylor,
to Baylor. Yeah,
right?
He's already at Baylor now, like in the eighth grade. In the 8th grade, school.
The kid's coming to Tennessee to play high school ball.
Sure.
I mean, he's got to be.
He ain't going to Knoxville though.
No, but it's an hour down the road.
Clark Lee from
2
turning
hours.
Vanderbilt into a powerhouse that picks up Manning. What do you want to Vanderbilt?
He's
to hell with Clark Lee and Vanderbilt. They ain't in the conversation.
Peyton doesn't like Nashville, or else he'd have came to the Titans instead of going to the Broncos.
The Mannings do have a lot of ties to Louisiana, though. Not LSU specifically, but
I just find that hard to believe that the family wouldn't be like, hey, we don't like Kiffin. Because it feels like they don't like Kiffin. Like Archie had some things to say about him after he left, Ole Miss. I would be surprised. And I would imagine Peyton doesn't like Lane either. So like I would be shocked if they stood by and let that happen.
I don't think that would happen.
No, I think
especially, like you said, with the Ole Miss thing.
I think they would just say, hey, you're not playing for that guy.
So do you think Ole Miss would be the biggest?
And I'd say Texas would probably be competition too.
Texas. Don't go to Texas, Mark.
Well, I'm just saying with the relationship there with the family. I mean, like it does seem like Arch has had a pretty good time at Texas. They've stood by him. They've protected him. There seems to be a good relationship there with Sarkisian. So I would put them on the list of contenders too. But hell, if any SEC school calls, I mean, like I said, I think it's going to be up to Marshall to decide.
It's got to come full circle. It's a
lot of pressure, man.
You can't go to Alabama. You can't go to Georgia.
It's a lot of pressure.
There's only one.
The Baylor school is pretty close to Georgia.
Yeah, but who wants to play for Kirby Smart?
Yeah.
2-time national champion.
Yeah.
2-time. I mean, come on. There ain't no Nick Saban out there anymore. I mean, Heupel's as good as Kirby is. You throw out those 2 years.
And like I said, before this last weekend, I didn't really
head-to-head wins.
I didn't really care. I hadn't started getting to the point where I cared yet, just because at a certain age, you're like, okay, who cares? You can't freak out about this kid. Who knows if he even wants to play football, blah, blah, blah. But now you're seeing the work and you're seeing the comparisons.
You're seeing videos of him throwing the ball now.
Right. And you're going to be like, yep, it's time to start recruiting. It's time to get him.
He ain't 9 years old anymore.
No, he's not.
He's getting ready to be recruited.
If I was betting, I would say he ends up at Tennessee.
He's got to.
Bubba, send us a break. Let's talk sports on Fan Run Radio.
For the fans, by the fans, this is Fan Run Radio, Knoxville.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
A brand built in Tennessee and born from the love of the game. Inward Half revolutionizes golfing comfort. Crafted by a former pro and dedicated enthusiast just like you, our luxury performance wear guarantees you stay cool and comfortable through every swing and every day. We're not just a brand. We've set out to create a lifestyle for those who understand that impeccable style and premium performance are a hole-in-one. Enjoy the walk-in with Inward Half.
Are you thinking of buying a home but don't know where to start? Well, call VFL Josh Travis, your local mortgage expert with Foundation Mortgage, based right here in Knoxville. Whether it's your first home or your forever home, he'll keep the process simple every step of the way. To get started, visit mortgagebrokerjosh.com or call 423-312-9777 today. Foundation Mortgage Company, LLC is an equal opportunity housing company. NMLS number 1387311.
Your tax refund belongs to you, not an identity thief. Over $6 billion in tax refunds were flagged by the IRS for possible identity theft last year. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. They monitor and alert you to identity threats you'd miss on your own, even if you're careful with your personal information. And if you do become a victim of tax-related identity fraud, LifeLock has U.S.-based restoration specialists ready to help solve your identity theft issue. Plus, all LifeLock plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, meaning LifeLock will reimburse you up to the limits of your plan if you lose money due to identity theft. Let LifeLock help protect your financial info, so all you have to worry about is what you do with your tax refund. Go to LifeLock.com, save up to 25% off your first year. The promo code is HERD, promo code HERD, to save up to 25% off your first year. LifeLock.com. Identity theft protection starts here.
White Claw is taking hard seltzer to new heights with White Claw Surge. At 8% alcohol, White Claw Surge is a stronger wave of refreshment that doesn't compromise on taste. Available in 4 bold waves of flavor like ripe blackberry, citrusy blood orange, zesty natural lime, and tart cranberry. Check out your favorite retailer in-store and online for the White Claw Surge Variety 12-pack and 16-ounce single-serve cans. White Claw Surge. Please drink responsibly.
Fan Run Radio, where Big Orange Country comes to talk sports. Start your morning off with your daily dose of talk sports with John Reed and Cody McClure from 8 to 11. Then it's Tony Basilio from 11 to 1. The Playbook with William Pattison from 1 to 3. And The Drive from 3 to 6. It's 10 hours of hard-hitting local sports radio every day, right here on the flagship station for Tennessee fans. This is Fan Run Radio, Knoxville.
You see this breaking news? Skip Bayless to reunite with Stephen A. Smith on First Take.
No way.
Yeah, according to frontofficesports.com. Now, it's unclear. Okay, it's described as a one-time show.
No.
He's just doing it. They're just doing it Friday. Okay, we'll see.
Not going to be a full reuniting.
The University of Tennessee's Board of Trustees approves the construction of the $280 million Neyland Entertainment District, as well as the new G10 parking garage. Work set to begin in July. That just coming across the board the last couple minutes.
Yeah, I watched during the break a bit of the board meeting. It's like 20 people on a Zoom. Everyone has their own little square. Dondi was speaking about what a great thing it is.
Well, it appears that it is set. How do you feel? How do you feel about the fish that will not be able to see the The river. We'll not be able to see the stadium from the river as they're swimming along.
Well, I mean, it's difficult news to take in if you're one of those largemouth bass down there, or trout, or whatever's in the river.
This is kind of like whenever they took the SEC off CBS. Doesn't
Another
hit the
change.
same. Doesn't hit the same.
You don't like the SEC games anymore?
I never did, John.
I really don't.
I never did.
You don't like them the same?
I really don't, to be honest with you. I do hate that. I really hate that. Just because my entire childhood and adult life was the SEC on CBS.
So you don't like the ABC games?
No, I really don't.
Do you watch them?
Yeah.
And like if Tennessee wins, you find yourself disgusted? Like, I wish this was on CBS instead.
No, but it really does. I mean, you're diminishing it, but it really does. I hate it a lot. It really does take away from the game viewing for me.
Do you find yourself watching the Big Ten on CBS?
No. That ain't the same.
I just didn't know if it was a channel.
I just hope someday they work it out again and they can bring it back, But it these TV contracts, it's a messy. There's a lot of money involved, tons and tons of money involved in it. So
the Board of Trustees authorized a 99-year lease for the $280 million Neyland Entertainment District. The funding of up to $83 million for the new G10 garage. The mixed-use sports entertainment district will be built between Neyland Stadium and the Food City Center. It will include a hybrid condo hotel overlooking the stadium, a rooftop bar, restaurant, shops, event space, and fan experience, writes the Knox News Sentinel.
It's happening. I tell you what, you better not let Russell Smith or Tony Basilio, better keep an eye on those guys soon. I hope they're not looking to go get their pilot license, if you know what I mean.
Do you think they would go there and chain themselves there? Just kind of like how people do to trees, to keep trees from getting knocked down. Can they strap themselves up to G10 to stop demolition?
Well, maybe I like the people in the forest.
Yeah.
When the bulldozers are out there and the deforestation or whatever.
You think we'd get arrested for that?
Yeah, they'd probably arrest you if you change yourself to the
man. I was willing to take one for the team, get some eyes here on the program.
Yeah, I mean, we'll bail you out. Hell, you won't go to jail for it. They might arrest you, but we'll get you out. Go do it.
I mean, how can they demolish G10 if simply several people are there?
Yeah, just go there and have a protest.
If everyone is standing on top of G10, how will they demolish it?
Don't let them remove you. Chain yourself to the stairs.
Never leave.
One last tailgate.
Yeah, the final tailgate. That's right. The final stand.
The developer who's in charge of this will pay Tennessee an annual base rent of $1.5 million. So every year, the University of Tennessee will make $1.5 million off of this, as well as between 3 to 5% of gross operating revenue from the condo, hotel, and entertainment space.
No, it's gross, all right.
UT will have the option to purchase the district after 40 years and the hotel after 50 years.
Can we rank the stores that we want to see in the entertainment district? Since we're going to have a mall by Neyland Stadium, I would like to have certain stores. Do you have any preferences of stores you would like to see in there?
Jersey Mike's.
Give me Spencer's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If I need to go get some gag gifts, I need to be
you're probably going to need an Apple store.
It's actually crazy to me that Spencer's is still in the mall. So many stores have come and gone out of West Town Mall, but Spencer's has never wavered. Spencer's is still in the same damn spot. Smells the same. Sometimes when I'm in the mall, I just walk in just for nostalgia because I used to love going in there when I was 12 years old. So sometimes I just walk in there, just check it out. I've walked in that store maybe 100 times in my life, and I've maybe only bought 3 things total. And one time I had to immediately return it because I bought a Chucky doll, and I carried it around to scare my sister. And after I scared her, my mom made me take it back.
You probably put like maybe a Sephora down there for the ladies. Have a maybe a Lululemon store. What
So
else?
is this? You're not thinking of like necessarily entertainment. It's an entertainment district.
Well, it's going to be an entire mall. There's going to be all kinds of different jewelry and clothing, and there'll probably be a TJ Maxx in there.
Let's get a movie theater down there.
Yeah, Regal.
Let's get Regal to put us a little private movie theater.
You got to think big.
Host recruits there.
Think big.
Team events, movie theater, boom. Slide in, slide out.
The average man thinks about what restaurants are going to be in there. We got to think big.
Sure.
Let's have maybe a simulator. But one thing you're going to need is a lot of ATMs.
Do one of those indoor new putt-putt places. I've seen those popping up. Some really, really nice like bar type of putt-putt places.
What about, just throwing it out there, what about a Bass Pro Shops?
No, it doesn't feel like entertainment at all.
You don't think a Bass Pro Shop outside Neyland would be fun?
I don't think so, no.
I think you're underestimating how much outdoorsmen love Bass Pro Shops. Have a couple of tracker boats on display right out there by the food court.
Hell, just put the boats down the river. Let's put that river to use.
What about, we need something. I know the hotel's going to be standing there, right?
Sure.
We know we're going to have a 62-story hotel in front of Neyland.
Hotel/condo.
But what if on the other side of Neyland, you have, because you don't want that hotel to just be erected, like standing, the only thing there, like it looks unbalanced when you have this ugly-ass stadium behind it. What if you put a Ferris wheel on the other side?
Ugly-ass stadium.
Right. What if you put a Ferris wheel and maybe a roller coaster or two? Like, I'm just throwing stuff out there.
Hell, why don't we do a bridge connecting the hotel to the other side of the river?
Well, that's where I hope it eventually ends up, where you can actually like walk across the river. That's where I hope it ends up. I'm just
sad days.
I'm just bracing myself for how bad the vibes of this football season have the chance of being. Like if the team does not perform as G10 has just been blown up, like they're blowing that garage up. I mean, they're taking it down in July.
The cranes are still going to be out
right,
there.
Like so it's going to be a construction zone.
Yeah.
If the team is bad at home, and we got some good home games, but that means that good opponents are coming. If we are losing at Neyland Stadium again, if we go 7-5 or 8-4, brace yourself.
Who's that team? Who do we play in November?
November?
That throwaway game.
I was going to say LSU comes in November.
Do we have a throwaway noon game in November against UAB or something? Homecoming. There's got to be a homecoming game.
Yeah, man. I thought November. No, November stacked now. No, we lost that Balk game. That was the big. That's the game that went away whenever you went to the 10-game conference schedule. So your November games are Kentucky at Texas A&M, LSU at Vandy.
I was just imagining like a 3-4 football team noon game, and there's just a lull, and you just hear the dump trucks outside backing up. Like you can't even hear the crowd noise.
Does that make Kentucky our homecoming game? Because you don't do homecoming and senior day the same day. So I'd imagine Kentucky November 7th is our homecoming game.
I would imagine.
Then LSU is our senior day. Things could get bleak if you lose at Georgia Tech.
Well, and people are going to be ready to come after Danny.
Oh yeah,
after loss number 2.
Oh yeah, like if you lose at Georgia Tech, and you got Texas coming in September. That could be the moment where it gets really, really ugly. According to the documents, according to the contracts, the new G10 garage must be completed by August 2027. So they're basically giving them a year from July to August to get the new garage ready.
I, for one, just hope you can get a funnel cake down there.
What an exciting time for me. I got a new Titan Stadium and a new entertainment district.
Yeah.
We are the IT football state.
I hope you get to stay in that hotel as much as you want to, John.
I got a pretty good feeling, Bubba, that I will never stay in that hotel. ever. But you say as much as I want to, I don't want to stay in the hotel. I live here. I don't want to stay in any hotel, Bubba. I hate hotels.
What about a casino?
I don't think that's going to happen, but hell, who knows?
I mean, maybe eventually.
Yeah.
Probably not this first iteration.
I don't feel like the Cherokee tribe could really swing that, saying that like there's any land down there that's Cherokee land. I don't know if they'll be able to swing that out of nowhere.
A lot of good submissions in the chat. Crystal. Not going to get a crystal. Peyton Manning's Cannon Launch Coaster. Sports Seasons. Graduate Hotel. Spirit Halloween. That'd be fun. Danny's Dubai Villa.
I did like the idea of the indoor putt-putt course.
Yeah, why not? I mean,
those things are pretty cool. I see them in big cities now, like just really nice courses where you can go in there and drink and stuff.
Yeah. Maybe put like an ice skating rink in there. You can do all kinds of things. I mean, the potential is, limitless, really.
UT plans to break ground in summer 2026. So their first act is destroying 2/3 of G10.
Maybe get a couple of elephants.
What odds do you give them of having this done in 2028 when they're supposed to?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
We think it's going to happen. I mean, I guess it
seems like a lot of work.
Well, I was going to say it seems like a lot of work, and maybe I just don't have a lot of confidence after how they kept messing up the baseball stadium. Like that was basically 2 years late.
People are also criticizing Danny for that, saying he paid less for the contractors. He hired cheap contractors.
I don't know if that's the case. I know the contractors messed up measuring stuff.
Yeah, some guy was like 6 inches off on on
one of the things below, like where they have to do the electrical
one of these
work.
beams didn't quite connect to the welder. There's a whole situation with a welder, and then one of the guys in the green vest wearing a hard hat. Somebody got smashed by a bulldozer. I think it was a situation, but I don't know. To answer your question, I have no idea if it'll be done in time or not. You think Danny will be out there in his hard hat on the day they break ground, like cutting the ribbon or whatever?
Yeah.
Shaking hands with
probably
with the project manager.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. This does feel like one of those things, though, that like if you're Danny White, your resume is going to be pretty damn good.
Yeah, I mean, who knows if he'll even be around. Like, that's the thing about people want to talk about running Danny out of town if football goes south. Maybe he's not even going to be here. Maybe he has no plans maybe this is his last big stand and he's going to go be a commissioner somewhere or something.
He gets all this started and then just leaves. Doesn't have to deal with the cleanup of it.
That's what Tony did.
Last call here on the other side. We'll wrap up this show. Stick with us. It's Talk Sports on Fan Run Radio.
Big Orange Country's home for sports. This is Fan Run Radio.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Hey, Knoxville! Surfside iced tea and vodka, made with real brewed tea, is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, with no bubbles and no troubles. That's right, zero carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. Headed to a game day or party at a friend's house? Bring an iced tea or lemonade variety pack from Surfside, or try their green tea and new raspberry tea vodka. Find the can with the sunset stripes this season. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sunshine in a can. Must be 21 or older. Enjoy responsibly.
Citizens National Bank.
Experience the thrill of traveling with C&B's exclusive travel program. Customers age 50 and above with a Plus Perks checking account can participate, ensuring a safe and delightful travel adventure. Take a day trip or an overnight trip. Travel domestic or international. C&B is always on the go.
Citizens National Bank. Banking never felt so good.
Member FDIC.
Running a business, coaching a team, planning your next big event, you need more than just gear. You need SM Athletics and Logo Solutions. Custom uniforms, branded apparel, promotional products, done right, done fast, and built to show off your brand with pride. From local businesses to high schools to major universities, SM Athletics is trusted by winners. Get real service, get real quality, get noticed. SM Athletics and Logo Solutions, where your brand comes to life.
Visit smathletics.com and let's build something great together.
Hey, Vols fans, Cody Brown here. I grew up right here in Tennessee and know what it means when someone says, I've got your back. That's why you can trust Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee. Whether it's your home, your vehicle, your family's future, or the business you built from the ground up, we will show up for all of your insurance needs. We are Tennesseans who understand what matters, which is doing right by you. Insurance is not all about just paperwork and policies, but it's about the people we insure every day. So if you want insurance that hits home, give me a call at 865-992-3871. Go Vols.
Nice little Monday show. You got 2 basketball games tonight, Cody. And then, of course, we're all on basketball commitment watch. What points do we get some Jucaris, Tennessee news this week? Rick Barnes felt pretty confident. I will say the Tennessee basketball Twitter account. Did you see their tweet? 10:40, they tweeted out, "This is just a totally random and completely unprompted reminder to go ahead and get those season tickets renewed."
They just tweeted that, huh?
They tweeted that out at 10:40 to go ahead and get your season tickets renewed.
It almost feels like a commitment from Jucaris is imminent.
AK, get your popcorn ready.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it happens in the next 10 minutes or so, you know?
I would say it is on the way at some point this week.
Yeah.
And knowing our luck, it'll probably be right when we get off the air.
Yeah. You know how that goes.
That is the bad part about this time slot is like when we were 12,
that's not the bad part. The bad part's the 8 a.m. part.
Nah, 8 a.m.'s nothing. 7 a.m. sucks. 8 a.m., that ain't really nothing to me. Now, I'm not a night owl like you that stays up all night working and doing stuff, but 8 a.m. is completely fine with me. I got no problem with that. 7 a.m. was a struggle. 8 a.m. is fine. Yeah. But I do miss whenever we would always get breaking news. I mean, really from 10 to 1, we'd get breaking news, and 12 to 3, we'd have breaking news to respond to. We don't ever really get any of the breaking news anymore.
I miss eating lunch on the air. That was good.
No, this time slot is perfect for that. And not for eating lunch on the air, but for lunch in general.
I can't eat spaghetti on the air at 9 a.m.
But being able to go and get lunch right after the show, that's perfect for that.
You know what I don't like?
It was 7 to 10, you had to kind of work for an hour, and like, okay, now I can go get lunch.
I know what you're saying, and I agree, because like I'd much rather do 8 than 7, so I'm not complaining. But you know the one thing I do miss about the 7 o'clock show?
What did you miss?
I could leave at 10 and go get breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
Like I can still get Mickey D's breakfast till 10:30.
See, I can get breakfast now at 7:30. I couldn't really get it at 6:30.
Oh, I can't do that.
Yeah.
It's a crunch just for me to get here. That interstate traffic, you know how that is.
Sure.
It's heavy like me.
But I do feel like once the Tennessee basketball account tweets out their totally random and completely unprompted reminder to get your season tickets ready, it does make me think that we are headed for some for some good news in an imminent fashion. Tennessee getting Juke Harris. Where does that raise this team's ceiling? Is it a Final Four team at that point?
I mean, it is in my book.
At least one that can compete for one?
Yeah. I mean, you never know for sure, but on paper, it looks pretty damn good.
I'll be very interested to see where the gambling odds end up. Because before the transfer portal, Tennessee was 70-1 to win the championship, plus 7,000. And I feel like they've put together a roster good enough, especially if they get Juke Harris. That would bring them down closer to maybe the high teens, low 20s range.
Can you bet on us to just make the Final Four?
You can.
I'm sure you can somewhere.
You can. I don't know if you can at this point, but you can like once the season gets started.
If you can't at this point, because like now would be like right now, like in the next few minutes would be a good time to place.
Yeah, let me look and see, because every time I check futures, it pretty much only has the championship. Let me look and see if any of them have actual Final Four odds. Bubba, we missed anything today we need to hit? I know you've been busy over there, so you might not have as much for us, but
I mean, we've missed a couple things.
Couple things.
RFK nepotism hire for his daughter with the WWE contract.
Wait, who? The nepotism hire?
RFK Jr., his niece or daughter, or somebody in his family.
She got hired in the WWE?
She's now one of their like new recruits that they got
to wrestle.
Yep.
She's
really
gonna be a
We've got
star.
the Kentucky Derby, first ever woman to train, Charlie DeVries.
That I actually watched the Kentucky Derby. Most years I don't really watch it. I don't really care. But this year, for whatever reason, I got home at 6 o'clock and I was like, it's supposed to run at 7. I've not got anything else I need to do. Okay, I'm gonna throw it on. And I watched it, the lead up and everything, and I was entertained.
It didn't run the Derby till 7 o'clock.
It basically ran right at 7 o'clock.
I thought it was at like 2:30.
Nope, they basically ran it right at 7 o'clock.
Shows you what I know.
We had a baseball game played at a prison.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What kind of baseball game?
Minors.
What prison?
Place where pre-Civil War. It was between the Joliet Slammers and the Gateway Grizzlies.
Did the prisoners get to attend?
Nope. Also, McDonald's are moving self-serving soda stations. That's a tongue twister by
of course
2032.
They are. Of course they are. Make sure to maximize as many damn profits as you can.
Also, a punter went first overall in the CFL draft.
I'd rather get my own soda anyways.
Corporate greed. Well, no, they're eliminating that.
Oh, they're eliminating the self-serve sodas. Oh, I missed that.
They're going to give it to you, and you get what you get. They ain't going to let you go
refills. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything for the Final Four. I will say FanDuel has us down to 30-1.
Also, WrestleMania, Nashville.
Also, MLB.
Official
Nashville.
Or no?
Not official, but
yeah, they're talking about it.
Keep trying to put their name in it there.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything for the Final Four yet, but
Major League Baseball Nashville coming soon.
I imagine I'd bet a lot of money, Cody. By the time we're on air tomorrow, Juke Harris, we'll have something to talk about there. Stay tuned to Fan Run Radio. The Tony Basilio Show is up next. Good job, Bubba.